everybody.
Hello.
No. How do you do? Should we add a camera?
Let's do it.
I think we will. Here we go.
Yay.
3, 2, 7. Hi! Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How do you do? And welcome. This is our special guest, Austin Wintory, the composer of this game, Abzu, with him young Iggs.
I'm just the Igby throne. I have
all
no other
anybody
function
is.
here today.
We are servants to his lordship, Iggs.
Of course, as
It
always.
seems so.
We have a fellow Austin. A scared serpent says hello to you, fellow Austin.
Yeah, and I saw from Twitter that a scared serpent, every time you say Austin, he has to embrace that you're speaking to him instead of me.
Fair enough.
Just kind of absorb that fact and let it wash over you.
Wonderful. Well, hello and welcome. All Austins are symbiotic, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's like that old movie, The One.
Yes.
It's a terrible sort of Michael Rooker B movie. And anyway, all parallel universe Austins share a certain kind of shared consciousness, and as they die off, we all get a little stronger with the remaining power. So
My goodness.
Wonderful.
Should we do a wave? I feel like.
A wave?
Yeah. I'm
What
gonna
do we-
start it.
It's weird to do it looking into the...
I'm trying to
That was our wave?
minimally
Yeah.
disrupt the Igby situation.
Maybe we can do it like this.
Whoa, hey Trisha Hirschberger, welcome
Ooh,
friends. Thank you for the raid. Come on in, everybody. If you missed it, I'm Bryan. This is
Amelia.
and this is
I'm Austin.
that's Austin, the composer of this game. And if you haven't played it before, this is a super chill underwater game akin to Journey, and we were talking about this at the beginning of the last stream. The creators of Journey, one of them separated off to make their own studio, Giant Squid, which made
Correct.
Abzu, correct? So it's not the same company that made Journey, but some of the same people.
It's principally Matt Nava, who was the art director on both Flower and Journey at that game company, started Giant Squid, and Abzu was their first title. So
Sweet.
built a whole new team. He and I were kind of the carryovers, and then there were some members of that game company that sort of were shadow feedback and consultant type. Nick Clark, who's a longtime member of that game company, he helped out a bit, and there's a kind of shared partnership. Like Genova, the creator of Journey, he came over and gave feedback on Abzu when we were just about finishing it. And so
Oh, cool.
that
Very
kind of
cool.
thing.
Well, we played Journey. It was an emotional experience. I had no
Yes.
idea that you were actually playing with another real-life person.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
have doubts? Did you think it was like super effective AI scripting?
Yeah, I did. And then we took a break, and our little friend stayed with us. And I was like, well, of course our little friend stayed because we haven't moved. And they're like, no, they must be here. And so
Wow,
then we
that's
called,
actually pretty rare.
Right?
I know.
Because they would be reasonable to think that you like lost connection or something.
Yeah,
At
exactly.
a certain point, they would just be like, "Meh, okay."
Yeah.
Shout out to Stoic Mom. Stoic Mom, are you here? I don't know. We found it out because at the end of the game, you learn who you were playing with, and we met.
Was it her?
Yeah.
It was
So
Stoic
I know
Mom.
her. I know her personally.
What? The plot thickens.
Yes. Yes. So it's all interconnected. So Stoic Mom, her name is Christina.
This is deep lore.
And this is the beauty of it. So she is the mother. The reason her screen name is because her son is John Watson, the technical director and co-founder of Stoic Studio, which created a game called The Banner Saga, which I also scored.
Right.
And so John one day called me and said, my mother has only ever played 2 games. She plays The Banner Saga and she plays Journey every single day since it came out.
Wow.
Yes, and she's
Oh
fantastic
yeah, she
at it.
is.
And-
She took us where we needed to go.
She is
our
the
guide.
sweetest person in the whole world.
Oh, that's amazing.
So yeah, she plays, and she's got a little community that she streams with, and
Oh, yeah.
and I suppose it shouldn't surprise me at all that you managed to find her, because she all but lives in the Journey world.
That's
She's
amazing.
the sweetest, most wonderful person.
Well, and beautiful white robes,
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that was earned long ago, I'm sure, probably
That's
multiple
amazing.
times over.
We played through a second time on is it their 7-year anniversary? It's
yeah.
been out for 7 years.
Yeah, just a few weeks ago.
Journey
basically.
Day. Yeah.
Yeah, we did it. The
That's so
journey.
cool. Well, is Stoic Mom here today? It would be awesome if you are. But thank you, and we love you.
Yeah, we really do. She's the best.
Super cool. I want to say hi to a couple people who have joined since the stream began. If you guys are here for the first time, you can click the little purple heart on top of the page, turn it green, and get a notification when we go live. The loud noise in the background is our
gardeners.
gardener, so it is not a zombie attack. We've been playing Last of Us, and Amelia and I are
I saw a
startled
little snippet of that.
by everything.
You have Troy in here during any segment of that?
He's
Not
threatened.
yet.
He's threatened to show up, but we're just hoping we're wearing pants when he does.
Yes, unlike right now.
Yes, you should know that none of us, including Igby, are wearing pants.
I am
My
wearing
my
pants.
pants at this point actually are Igby.
You're
that
slowly
makes
morphing.
sense.
As I kind of evenly distribute the excess fur here onto my jeans,
It's amazing.
I'm taking a large portion of you with me. It seems.
Igby is.
would have it no
that's what.
other
Yeah, that's what he
way.
wants. Thank you again, Trisha, for the raid at the start of the stream, and Cumberoil Nova Kanoki is back for 9 months, which means. Can you guess what that means on Twitch?
I have no
9
idea.
months. You have a Twitch baby. So here's your. You want to toss him a gender-neutral Twitch baby with us? That's how. Mommy, where do babies come from? Bryan and Austin and Amelia shuck them out one by one. Also,
Yep.
to Valen Shepard is here for 9 months as well. So
Yes!
double shuck.
Oh, I was slow on that one. That one was a 2/3.
It's okay. Yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
spun that way a little bit. We have Addict with a Jason. Thank you for being here for 6 months with your gold Dorito. There's these loyalty badges next to people's names. They're bronze for subscribers, and then they turn silver at 3 months and gold at 6 months, and so on and so forth.
Spectacular.
So you can tell, we have all the chats up, and then we have 2 subscriber chats. And today we have Wintory, which is usually Jericho.
There's no N.
Oh,
Geratory.
Jared.
Geratory is actually pretty cool sounding.
Ooh, Vesperious Virtue. Thank you for the gift sub group hug.
Austin, you know what this means?
You're gonna get to experience.
You're gonna see something you've never seen before.
Wait, Troy has been here.
Troy's been here. He's been here, but not for Last of Us.
Yeah, not for Last of Us.
He came for Tales from the Borderlands. We played through
Oh,
that
that's
one.
a good one.
And he showed us his Tales from the Borderlands socks and told us all the.
That's
deep
underappreciated
lore.
Troy Baker right there.
All right. You ready for this?
Let's do it. Igbicam up like this.
Oh.
He'll be back.
He's got.
Yeah,
He knows what that jar means.
Yeah, I was gonna say you activated. Aww.
We gotta refresh something.
Camera.
It's like
It's not a live feed. It's like speed.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody's patching it through. Wait, here we go.
We moved the Igby cam, so
Very unusual. Hang on, we're gonna have to recalibrate.
recalibrate.
Oh, Catty! Thank you, Catty, for the gift sub group hug as well.
Yeah, he's definitely on.
Troy's expression in that is
We've got
not as enthusiastic as it deserves to be.
here, let's add. I'm gonna try to drop this source back in here again. Let's see.
All right.
I'm loving your like NASA command center situation here.
Dude, it feels
I don't
good.
think people can appreciate just how snazzy this setup is.
Here, we're gonna exist multiple times here, and then we'll trade it back. Igby cam, there we go. And then how about like this? Igby cam down.
Igby cam down.
And when we have a guest,
Oh God,
how could it be?
embarrassing.
Scarlet Willow, thank you for the cheers.
Oh, Scarlet Willow, thank you for the gift sub group hug.
Oh, right on.
Okay, we got 3 in the bag, ready to go.
Yeah, and then we want to play this game too. Hold on, let me.
Did it get disconnected accidentally?
It might be because it's down by our feet. Hang on 1 second.
One moment. We
I
moved,
love that this.
we moved around the Igby cam. Okay.
Yeah, if you guys notice, we have a. There
Yeah,
it
there
is.
we go.
Now we're
All right,
live.
all right.
Just a little unplug, replug
All right, here we
situation.
go.
Classic tech support. Oh, there we go.
You like that?
No more closed circuit lying. It's funny for it not to be working that it would give you like a
Static
frozen
thing. Sometimes we get so much hype in the chat that the graphics card's like, wait, what's going? And then, anything can happen.
Yeah.
There we go. Look at that. Glory.
Sweet. So you guys thought you were going to get video games today, but no.
Just
No.
pure Igby Cam tech support.
GWCN pool.
Hey, thank you, Gwen. Appreciate you. We also have, would you be down? I guess I should ask you this before we were on air, but
I'm ready.
Okay,
Ready for some major hard-hitting expose.
We like to send these postcards that say Deviant on them to our friends for joining us on the stream. And would you sign 1 or 2 for
You want me to do it right now?
prize? Ooh, he'll do it right now so you can know it's really
for real.
it's really good. Here it is.
This is verifiable.
Verifiable. Signed
I
by
love
Austin
the
himself.
pocket Sharpie.
Gotta have a pocket shark.
Do you want anything in particular?
Well,
do we have any idea yet who this will go to?
No.
No.
But Katie Rose, thank you for the raid. Maybe we could, maybe you can make it out when we pull a winner.
All right.
Because we'll pull a winner kind of like an intermission. So if you want to retweet to invite your friends, we have a pinned tweet up on my page. It says we're live. Invite your friends to join us. And, you're also... Is your signature also hieroglyphics, or you're just
I just can't resist.
He's got it. It's totally custom.
The branding here.
And so we will pull a winner off of Twitch and Twitter in just a little bit. Igby, you look really good, dude. That's if you've ever wondered like what's Igby's deep under neck fluff. That's what it looks like.
Hey, Jammy
It's
Laugh.
hard work to get that level of under neck fluff.
It's true. Right? Jammy Laugh is back for 9 months.
That's all he
also
does
another
all day.
Twitch baby for you,
Whoa.
friend. There you go.
Oodalale.
And so originally.
Yay.
Yay.
Thank you for being here with your Prime. If you guys have Amazon Prime, you can link it to Twitch for a free subscription, which is kind of fun. Easy peasy. Let's get rid of the Igby cam.
1997 Hawk. Back for 4 months.
Thank you. Ooh, look at that.
So now this is definitive proof.
There's only one of these in the world.
That's glorious.
There's only one of those
in the whole world. It can be yours.
It's test. So my cohort in all things, girlfriend, collaborator, muse, Angela Bermudez. She's an actual artist, so I do these as constant reminders of what my boundaries ought to be, because she's done some amazing journey paintings, art, cosplay on the sand dunes of Egypt, and all kinds of craziness. Yeah, she's incredible. So yeah, every time I draw one of these, I feel a certain shame wash over me as it.
But it sounds really good.
Yeah,
it
looks really beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Is it like a seashell? Are we hearing the desert?
It's well composed.
Yeah. Oh well, that's very kind of you.
We're gonna do a bit of a Q&A with Austin too. So if anyone has questions, I know we have a lot of fans of other video games that you've worked on, and also some folks who are working in game development themselves or would like to be or studying. So maybe you have some tips for them, and we'll take some questions a little later in the stream. And
We're ready.
Should we jump in?
Yeah, let's do it.
You good on that?
Yes. I don't know what that is.
All right, cool.
Ignore that.
Vashelia, thanks for coming back for 11 months. Romeouth for 6. Praise Lord Igby, you say. Mad Gab's here with their Prime. Catty, thank you for the... to all the Austins out there, thank you for the donation.
Imaginary Wanderer, welcome back for 5 months.
Indeed. We have Neko Tiger is here. Thank you for subscribing. True Hope Faith is back for 11 months. Whoa. 1 month away from their blue triangle.
So which one of the which subscriber is your favorite?
Oh, that's easy.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
It's this one.
Yes.
Bunny28809 is my favorite.
That's recorded. We're gonna excerpt that and repeat that over and over and over.
Yeah, that's a funny thing about the internet. Sometimes you do and say a thing and then...
Well, not sometimes.
Oh, yeah, no.
Every time.
It will always live forever. My thoughts are somehow being emblazoned onto the internet for all history.
Oh.
Viduality, welcome back for 5 months. And Voided Light, welcome back for 3.
Right on. Oh, wow. We're going to have to... wow, Caddy and Virtue, Scarlet Willow, thank you for the gift subgroup hugs, everybody. We're going to try to catch up on some of these as we continue, but let's get into this game, shall we? Should we do it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with this one. There we go. Everybody feel good about their little box?
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like my post-Igby situation here, I have to recalibrate.
Yeah.
You feel comfy?
Yes, I'm good.
Good to go?
I'm sitting more upright than I was. Igby had me in a 60% prone position.
So, we are... I can't remember. I mean, it's hard to say specifically where we left off, but we left off somewhere around
right here.
Right here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We found out that we were doing the meditation wrong. We were just going up on top of these and enjoying the view.
So what's wrong with that?
Well, I guess you have to push. You can push a button to like actually meditate, to like tell the game you're meditating.
I see what you mean.
We were just sitting there and closing our eyes.
So here's how we can. This is very like that game company of me to respond this way, but you weren't not doing meditation wrong. You were just doing your own version of meditation. There's a difference between activating it and failing to meditate. You see, we're not here to tell you how to play the game. You just do you.
And that's what I like about this game. Because what's a giant squid? Whoa.
It even triggers a low cue.
I mean, look at I mean, we've just been...
Check out, it's got a sperm whale.
It's gonna eat me? Can we latch on? I forgot how to latch on. There we go. Whoa, begin.
So, would you take me through your creative process?
Sure.
Yeah, what is the game like when you come on board? Is it concept art? Is it, when are you introduced?
Well, in this particular game, so Matt and I really connected. There's another one coming at you.
Nice.
Kind of on a sperm whale highway. Matt and I had really bonded and connected during Journey. So when it came time, when the game shipped and he decided to go his way and start his own company, he came over and I was one of the first people, I think, that he told and said, got a new thing I'm doing and this is the game I want to make. And he had actually even shared with me during Journey, he had actually shared with me some artwork that he just said, here's some art of mine. And it was, in hindsight, I realized it was kind of early concept art for Abzu. I don't even know if he knew that. He probably knew that. But it may have also just been kind of unrestrained imagination, which he has in droves. And so he said, he hadn't built really much of his team yet, or set up the financing or partnership, publishing, any of that. But said, here's the kind of thing I want to make. And much like Journey, it was like, well, let's try writing a theme and kind of wrap our head around what the aesthetic ought to be like and all that. And so nothing existed. That's my attempt at making a medium-length answer turn into a short answer.
Wow.
Is that game? I come on at all different stages. Sometimes the game is pretty well along, and sometimes it doesn't exist at all. Both Journey and Abzu, I came in from day one basically, and the games were effectively non-existent. Not even really much in terms of concept art.
Really?
More so on Abzu than on Journey, just because Matt had already, I think, started kind of in his, nights and weekends dreaming about Abzu, probably even before Journey had shipped, just because, like I said, he's just this continuous imagination. But yeah, so it was just immediate discussions, and then the game very slowly comes together, and I, in this case, and in most of the times, I'm able to play it. I get a build set up of some kind where I can play the game every day and see the progress and put music in it and test it and find it's too slow, it's too fast, it's not interesting, it's soul crushingly boring, all that kind of thing.
Wow.
Do you also, are you responsible for all the effects like that when we
like the big sonar ping?
Yeah.
That was on Journey. I did the chirps that the player makes in tandem with the sound designer Steve Johnson, and I collaborated on those because they're really connected with the score. And even though we did similar things in terms of the connection here, Steve Green is the sound designer for this game, and general sound guru, implemented all my high maintenance requests while we were working. Crazy enough, Abzu was his first gig. He was right out of school. I remember Matt asked me to help them hire. So we designed a sound design test, like an audition. And I'll never forget with Steve, it was like, it said, it was a verbal prompt, create a sonic landscape for us.
Sonic landscape.
And we explained, like, player does this, 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 and this. But embrace the idea that there's a kind of surrealistic quality to Abzu. It's not a diving simulator. It's kind of a fantasy.
Yeah.
And so he did something really brilliant, which is essentially, in my opinion, why he got the job. And there's this moment where everything kind of peels away, and all the traditional sounds of like waves and the bubbles of presumably the divers' like equipment or whatever, all that goes away, and then you could hear footsteps. And it was like, to be able to imagine the idea that without climbing out of the water, somehow now you're walking. That embraced the kind of fantastical surreality of the game in a way that was like, that alone he's the guy.
Cool.
And he came in and super great attitude and super eager to please and work hard and put in, however many extra hours to get it just right. And He's awesome.
So from start to finish, how long did you work on the game?
The whole time, which was about 3 years. And you know, it's always tough because huge swaths of it don't work for most of that time, and or they're still being discovered. No one really quite knows exactly what it's going to be yet, and all that kind of thing. And then you hit a wall where it's like, oh man, maybe this game is terrible, and everybody's doubting themselves. And so yeah, it goes through a lot of phases. I mean, you know, you have to experience parallels, I would think.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really know what was going to happen with our game. It was pretty much, I saw the demo of the first scene and then the final game.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I was not involved. Like,
wow.
I saw concept art
Feels very
before we
blind.
were there. Yeah. Got to keep actors in the dark, you know, or they might make creative decisions on their own.
Yeah, they might have writer suggestions or.
Well, the cool thing also is because there's no dialogue.
You want to go down in there? I think
you
you want to go down in that pool, right?
The Stargate?
Yeah, Stargate.
The music serves as the dialogue. You know, it takes you.
Totally.
It takes you on this whole journey.
Sing!
Ah!
Yeah, you'll never imagine how many times I've desperately used the word voyage in order to dodge exactly that sentence for the last 7 years. Like, I really need to go on a personal
expedition.
Voyage. Yeah, expedition. Yeah, because it's just permanent pun.
So do you think the name, I mean, maybe this is a Matt question, but do you think that Giant Squid is Giant Squid because Matt just also is fascinated by the deep ocean and all this?
That's definitely a diver. So am I. That's part of how we initially bonded.
Oh, cool.
And like an incredibly powerful scuba diving experience that he had is like where a lot of this game comes from. He had, you know, effectively a spiritual experience while diving. He just felt so connected with everything around him and wanted to make a game that explores this idea of interconnectivity. And
absolutely. And
this is, by the way, the kind of spirit realm. Oh, and as a total side note, you see the big manta ray in the distance. If you wheel back, kind of, if this is 12, give us like 9 o'clock.
Spin around a second. I gotta get away from the.
You see the. So just the other day, if you check out Matt's Twitter, someone got footage of apparently one of the rarest animals on Earth is an albino manta ray. It basically is exactly that.
Whoa.
It was the coolest thing I've ever. Matt just tweeted like, "This is so Abzu," and I was like, "I can't believe that's real." And it's right below the surface. They're filming from a boat, looking through the water, and there's just this pure white manta ray.
Sweet.
I did not know that was even possible for like albinism in rays.
Manta rays.
It's the coolest thing. So yeah,
they're beautiful. It reminds me also of Moana.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Moana.
Spirit.
So yeah, this is a perfect example of the kind of imaginative world of Matt and the giant squid. The fact that you're like, are you swimming or flying?
Right. Am I
now?
in space or am I deep in the ocean?
Yeah. I really adore that about it. And funny enough, so do you know where Abzu, the name, comes from?
No.
No, and I wish you would tell us.
So, Abzu is if I remember correctly, it's been a few years, but Abzu is one of the named gods along with Tiamat in the first few lines of the Enuma Elish, which is a tablet from ancient like Babylon, I guess, and it's the oldest known recorded religion, effectively the oldest creation myth, the oldest known sort of archaeologically record of people speculating about the beginnings of the world. And the first like 15 lines or so of it detail kind of like the mother sort of drawing the world from the ocean. And it's this beautiful piece of poetry, and the language is called Akkadian. Let me see if I can find the text, because you'll notice there's a choir throughout this game, and that's the words they're singing all the time, even if you can't really hear it. Like in the world you just were in, that was what was happening. There was a choir, super kind of washed out and muffled, but they're actually singing those words.
Whoa, beautiful!
I'm gonna find that for you.
Beautiful.
We're getting a little world religion studies in today. We're getting some game design questions.
We do a
We
stream.
are nothing if not nerds.
Yeah, full nerd
yeah.
around here.
Raise your hand if you're a nerd.
Are there any nerds here? I'm just curious. I mean, I literally see the Ultimate Nerd 713, so we have our leader.
Yes, we all defer.
I love the colors too in this game. It's so like.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we got lots of raised
nerds.
hands. Good.
Oh yeah, good. We're with our people.
Yeah. Nerd power, embrace it.
Giant squid. Hey, speaking of squids, there's an OMG. Can you show Austin Burt? We have
Bert.
adjust that. Show Austin Burt. We have
Yeah. Bring
have
on
a-
the Bert.
we have an emote named Burt, and he's a squid,
That's exciting.
and you're gonna love it. I mean, it's not even our emote. I don't even know where Burt really came from.
I think
But
Bert was just
Oh.
there he is.
there's Burt.
Oh, I love it.
He has different permeations. He can have different heads, you know, which is always good. That's our giant squid.
I love it. It's like a medium-sized squid. There's a
there's a
proper
giant one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue Owl's medic for the
Ultra
rescue.
squid.
Yeah.
Big Bert. Lots of big Berts.
I'm trying to figure out how to. Oh, here we go.
Hey, Scarlet Willow and Cumber Oil, thanks for cheering.
All right, you ready for a proper reading of the
Hit me.
Enume Elish?
Yes.
So this is from the first 9 lines. I excerpted this, but this is literally the oldest known, essentially, religious text in the world.
Damn.
When in the height, heaven was not. You'll notice. I don't know if you've checked out the soundtrack album, but the track titles all come from this. They either come from some of the animal names in their genus, species, Latin, or from this. So when in the height, heaven was not named, and the earth beneath did not yet bear a name, and the primeval Abzu, who begat them, and Chaos, Tiamat, the mother of them both. Their waters were mingled together, and no field was formed, no marsh was to be seen, when of the gods none had been called into being, and none bore a name, and no destinies were ordained. Then were created the gods in the midst of heaven.
Wow.
So that threads all that text essentially is what inspired Matt to make this game. He shared that with me at the very, very beginning. It's literally a physical stone pillar, basically, that has those words.
Wow.
It's the oldest known kind of its sort, and that's where we.
Yo,
I
thank you.
said, there we go.
Thank you for sharing that.
had to-
People are hyped about all this. The lore. That's so cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to do rather extensive Googling before I could find someone who had reasonably confidently pronounced the original Akkadian language in order to figure out what to tell the choir. I had no idea. I'm not exactly an archaeologist.
So here, I'm gonna read a couple questions out of here, just because you. I mean, that's a pretty good answer to Michelle's question about main inspiration for creating such an immersive and atmospheric soundtrack. How was it different, maybe, from working on Journey? What was the biggest difference? I mean, besides obviously the content of the game. But...
Well, that is really that's sort of the answer, because even though there's mechanics they sort of share, the multiplayer obviously is not.
Right.
That's a big dividing line between them, but this kind of explorational, meditative gameplay. It's not challenge or skill based, blah 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 blah. Experiential. This one is a quote walking simulator, for me, the single most sort of important difference is the fact that Journey is all about desolation. The whole thing, even why they chose the desert versus any other environment, is it's all about making the player feel really alone. And the reason for that is obviously when you find another person,
Right.
it's like this amazing catharsis, right?
Right,
You're
right.
so stoked. And it's because the game is trying to make you feel so alone all the time. And not threatened, but lonely and desolate. This is the opposite. You're immersed in crazy amounts of life and energy and excitement, and then you have these moments where you kind of find it drained out and you have to restore it. And that went through a lot of permutations, but because there was an original version of this game. I don't know if they'll get mad at me for sharing this, but one of the original ideas for the game that never quite worked, and so we actually reversed it, was that the diver is going, and everywhere she goes, she's actually draining life out of the ocean, and then has this epiphany of like, holy shit, I'm the bad guy, and essentially becomes a self-sacrifice for the sake of the life of the ocean.
Wow.
But it never was quite coming across, and so we kind of flipped the script and made it so that everything is constantly about restoring life, and that seemed to somehow work a lot better. It was an early on game design decision.
Oh man, I would be claustrophobic to swim under like a little cave like this.
Are you not divers?
No.
Not at all. So when you dive, I mean, are you scuba diving? Like,
Yeah, sure. I mean, you don't typically go into caves without specialized training.
A really long snorkel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're 100% free underwater, but now you're, by the way, entering into the only explicitly stressful part of the game. I should probably just watch and enjoy.
All right. Well, everybody here knows I do extremely well under stress, but I want to let everybody know we have an update from our moderators that Stoic Mom is here with us in the chat. So
we love
if you'd like
her.
to say hi to Stoic Mom, now's your chance.
People should go follow her stream for daily
Yeah, can we get a shout out?
Daily dose.
daily journey dosage.
Mods, can we share the link to Stoic Mom's
Oh, don't
channel?
touch
I can't
these
touch
things,
this. No,
otherwise
no,
it
no.
will electrocute you again.
Yes. And also, a reminder, you can type !guest or !Austin. Go to get the link to follow Austin on Twitter. Do what's right.
Do it.
I am on the tweets.
That's how we found each other, through Troy
Yes.
Baker's tweets.
Yes, Troy's loving, guiding hand. He's the puppet master for all the internet.
Oh!
You gone done it. See, this is now you're about to discover how this can go.
Let's get out of this asteroid field.
Notice no music. We want you
What?
to really feel the anxiety of this
Yeah.
situation, and music can't hold your hand. By the way, your Stoic Mom thing, I have to tell you a funny Journey-related story. So we do a live show called Journey Live.
Sweet.
That's the whole game on stage, start to finish, where I have a small orchestra and we recreate the entire score live while someone on stage is playing the game, and we don't pre-choreograph it. So I have to be able to
sweet.
redo every single little nuance of the music
Whoa.
through like crazy hand signals with the musicians, and
That's cool.
it's nuts and it's terrifying and it's really fun, and we've been doing it for a couple years now, kind of all around, and one of the most hilarious things is we have a special build of the game from Sony where we can actually play online, and pausing myself, the instrument you're hearing, little English horn, shout out, Kristen Nagus is the musician. All the oboe and English horn solos in this game were written specifically for her because she did a fan cover on oboe of Journey and put it on YouTube, and I was like,
really?
holy shit, you're a really great musician. She lives in Florida, and it was like, I'm gonna write something for you sometime, and then
That's amazing.
Cool.
and then yeah, it was like we were starting on Abzu, and I called her and said, I have the thing for you. You're gonna be the heart and soul of this score. So she's all through the game, but you could just
That's
hear her.
fantastic.
She's a wonderful, amazing musician. She plays 50 million things. She plays like every woodwind, everything that you can basically blow into and make noise. She plays.
Wow.
But oboe's kind of her strong suit. So.
What's your favorite instrument to play?
Well, I only crappily play piano. I enjoy admiring real musicians. As a composer, I forfeited all skill in pursuing instruments. I like conducting.
So what's going on here musically? Is this a synthesizer? Or
Yeah,
what's
we're
it?
in pure electronic territory. I mean, a lot of the choir and orchestra stuff is kind of heavily distorted. There's also some vocals that are really twisted around from a soloist, a woman who lives here in LA named Ayana Habib, amazing singer. But yeah, we're in musically alien landscape at this point on purpose, but very minimalist. The idea is that this is the Steve Green hour. It's very much about the sound design because the music dominates the audio so much that it was like, let this be a very different kind of experience.
Yeah, Yeah.
Because again, it's like, are we underwater still? Like the way things are floating is not really like there's still gravity underwater.
Right.
So
right.
we've kind of moved into this other universe.
Yeah, it's like space.
Yeah, it feels very alien. It's like we're in Ridley Scott territory now.
You know, we were talking about Ridley Scott on the last stream of Abzu.
Yes.
When we had our friend Abu. What were we calling him? I know. Well, we were calling him Abu. We'll get into the memes later. But Abu Bakr Salim plays Bayek in
in Origins.
In Origins, Assassin's Creed. So if you want to check out the first half of the stream, it's up with Abu. But he's working on a new Ridley Scott thing with
that's exciting.
Androids, a new TV series that's coming out.
That's exciting.
Called Raised by Wolves.
Yes.
Intriguing.
Father Android. Solar panel Android. So here, we got the link, the fifthhouse.com is the link for the Journey concerts.
That is so cool.
Yeah, the musicians are called Fifth House. They're based in Chicago. One thing we've been trying to do is one of my fantasies would be a collision of Troy and Nolan's retro replay with Journey Live. We'll see how tenable that proves to be.
Does Uncle Noli play any instruments, or?
Well, their responsibility would be the game.
Sure, right.
And we'll provide the music, and
Sweet.
it'll be chaotic and horrible, and probably hilarious.
That's awesome. Exclamation point Troy will get you guys the link to Retro Replay if you want to check them out on YouTube.
Oh, they should.
So that's us, huh? Is that us or another form? X-ray version of us.
Yes, we're kind of giving you hints of maybe who you are.
Who am I?
Oh, I realized I cut myself off. So Journey Live,
Right.
the poignancy, you said you found Stoic Mom, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
it tells you companions met along the way. It's the very last screen of the game after the end credits. And it's this one moment of kind of wall breaking, like, oh yeah, I am on the PlayStation Network, and because otherwise
Right.
try to go out of their way to make it all live within the game only. So the thing that's hilarious is Journey Live is often a very kind of poignant. The show ends and everyone's kind of quiet. And like, wow, that was really moving. And then what invariably happens is there's the quiet of the audience and the credits ends. The music is dying down and it's like companion met along the way. You know, shithead 27 or whatever.
yeah, exactly.
It's actually an amazing way to end the show because it shatters the ice, you know.
Right.
But man, is it such a about face tone wise? It's hilarious every
That's
time.
funny.
Yeah, Stoic Mom was a
I think
very
they had, like,
patient
very
assistant.
patient,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
She face planted for us. That's how we knew she was there with us.
Yeah, can you do any of the complicated Journey moves, like the face plant?
Journey
Like
is
running-
it's narrow in its animation cycles, but it's all. If you felt connection, then it succeeded because the idea is sort of co-empathy, and so I guess they stuck the mark.
We're a very empathetic crew here.
It seems so.
I see we have
There's
some
very
folks-
lovely people in your chat.
Yeah, we're, hey, can you guys, does anyone else, if you play an instrument, I see someone saying they play, Addict with Adjacent plays ukulele, piano, guitar, and trumpet.
Trumpet.
What other
I
instruments
like
do
how
you all
trumpet
play?
is kind of the odd one out in that
Right,
mix.
right.
That's nice. And amazingly, all at the same time. You know, sort of Mary Poppins.
We have Scarlett Theros playing the flute and the ukulele. 8-bit
So we have two ukulelists.
Viola, violin,
Bass clarinet.
clarinet,
Big fan of that.
oboe.
Just recorded a contrabass clarinet the other day.
What's a
big
con-
fan.
a-
It's the
what's
big
contra-
brother. You know,
Oh,
bass
okay.
clarinet is the medium-sized big brother of regular clarinet. Contra is the sort of granddaddy of the family, and they're super cool, and I love them.
Saxophone, clarinet.
We have a very musical group.
Yeah.
You're
Trumpet.
underutilizing. You need to form the.
The Connor Army Band.
Yeah, exactly. They become orchestra.
Mandolin.
Literally another ukulele. I'm beginning to think that that's just the default position for all music.
Is this where we came in? Yes. Right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Sometimes I get distracted by
Talking.
reading the chat.
Ukulelists?
Yeah, it's just a thing for me. It's just like ukulelists. Cellists?
Cellists. We have a lot of singers as well.
Oh, look at these things following us now.
Oh yeah, so they're telling us we're going in the right direction. I trust them.
You trust
You
them?
can trace along the wall, and fate will intervene.
They seem friendly, but they look
They look
not
like
friendly.
eels with strange heads.
Reminds me a little of the Matrix, actually. You know those giant
Yeah.
what are they?
Sentinels.
Sentinels, yeah. Can I open this door? No.
You are proving a cardinal rule of video game music, which is to test the longevity of certain musical loops. Because that, like, you hear that one's me.
Right? I mean, that's where we came in. I'm pretty positive of it. Yeah, is there a point where the game's like, you don't know what you're doing, and just comes to silence, and then a voice message from you being like, come on, man!
Come on, man.
Pull yourself together!
I see you. Yeah, it's funny because that's actually one of my big things as a composer is, like, how can I embrace any kind of player so that they don't feel stuck? Like, if they genuinely get lost, the music at some point becomes punishment because it's just beating you over the head with the loop. So I usually build contingencies in where the music will stop after a certain point, just out of mercy, because it's ruining its own purpose if you're starting to hate it and get all spiteful.
Flustered, yeah.
I'm gonna try this tunnel, even though maybe we came through here. Austin, blink twice if I should not go down
I was
this
gonna
tunnel.
say, are you sure you came in this way?
Oh yeah, there's more of them. This feels successful.
Okay, good. Got this. So this question is from Imaginary Wanderer, Austin. Can you tell us a little bit about A Light in the Void? Amelia and I have not played that game, but it's been recommended to us by me.
It is not a game. A Light in the Void is, Welcome to Hell, by the way. That's Ayana, the singer. That soprano you're hearing now.
Well, we gotta get through all this now.
She's like, you're not going to make it.
So A Light in the Void.
A Light in the Void is a concert that I put together with the Colorado Symphony this past October. It was about 5 years in the making. So it's funny to think I started on it like 2000, what would that be? 2013, around there. So shortly after Journey came out. Oh! So it used to be, notice how there's a bit of a wind up on these things. It used to be that if you just get close to them, they'll go off. Which meant if you hit one, it kicked you off against the other, and then you were caught in this
chain reaction.
This like pinball machine of horror. It was amazing. Although very anti-Abzu. I have faith in you. But yeah, Light in the Void is a concert I put together. It's a big love letter to science. So it's a big sort of symphony orchestra meets TED conference where I got a bunch of these top scientists to give like 20-minute speeches about their work, and I wrote orchestral music to accompany it like a speech in a movie, you know, like
that's awesome.
like the stirring monologue, you know. And so there on stage, I'm literally conducting like an 80-piece orchestra just 10 feet away from them.
Oh my god.
But then it has like a narrative thread, so I ended up, Troy actually has like a major role in the show as an actor. And the sort of star of it is Hannah Hayes, who plays Sarah, his daughter, in The Last of Us, the opening scene.
Oh yeah, man.
And spoiler.
Yeah, right.
And spoiler for those who didn't make it past the first few seconds of the game. What's this? Drama.
But wait,
Oh, the shark died.
the shark was our friend.
What a twist.
And look, we're terrible. We're
We saved a shark the last time.
why, Austin? Does that happen to everybody, or did I kill that shark?
Yeah, you really fucked up.
Really?
I love such
Really?
vulnerability.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh yes, R.I.P. They're press F for the shark. Oh man.
Well, Deviant Connor Cosplays cheered, and so did Jade MX, and Carly Davis is back for 2 months, and Haku Shu is also back for 2 months. These are good things.
That's good news.
Yeah.
House of Waffles
This
here
is
with their
welcome
prime.
good news in this sad moment.
Oh man.
And look, you might not even be human.
Our skeleton is glowing.
Don't you feel like Christian Bale right now?
Yes. Now that you say it.
Reminds me a little of. Oh no! What? What? Machine?
Wait. Glowing heart.
A glowing heart?
Or also maybe a little bit like a Black Widow.
Yeah, a little bit like a Black Widow. Whoa. Heart chakra open for business. We are.
You know, I never thought that the diver was a human, just because of the way that they were able to move. It's not human.
Foresight. I approve of that.
Also the way that they
Oh no, our shark friend!
Go. Is it alive?
We're coming!
Oh.
Save the shark!
Great white shark.
Can we heal him?
Never thought I'd be friends with a great white shark.
Mourning a shark.
Oh no!
That's super by design. This is a very pro ocean game.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I feel so sad. I've been reading more and more articles about, you know, whales washed ashore with 50 pounds of plastic in their stomach. Oh man.
Recycled copies of Abzu.
Just,
In
yeah.
the grandest, darkest irony
Oh
of them
no,
all.
look, we're hanging our head.
Maybe we can
How can we revive him? I don't know. He seems pretty.
cuddle it to life.
Can you cuddle it to life, my love?
Could be
I
a
don't know. Let's ask the pro.
It's hey,
Can you
it's,
cuddle it to
it's
life?
it's anything's possible
All right, let's try to cuddle
unless
it.
the programmers didn't put that in.
Cuddle to life. We can go in his be the little spoon. We're sorry if we caused your demise, shark.
Or could it have been that the shark intervened to ensure your survival?
I like that.
Does that feel a little
It does.
bit better spin
Yeah.
on the situation?
Yeah, I guess so. It gives him some agency. Shark.
Well, rest in peace, friend.
We love you, shark. The music wasn't tugging at my heartstrings.
We try to be gentle though. We're not
gentle.
manipulative. We've got a little Kristen oboe solo.
Bobo Solo.
I really like the headlamp piece of it.
Lily pads.
Finally. Back above water.
That was Guybrush Threepwood level breath holding right there.
Wow.
I'm banking on there being people in your chat who appreciate a Guybrush Threepwood reference.
They will know. They will let them. They will.
And they will
They
reveal
will
themselves.
reveal it themselves.
Yeah, good. Well,
Wow, this is cool. I'm digging these like bioluminescent. Oh, look at the walls. Yeah. It's cool to hear you tell me about the, you know, I mean, like ancient origins of the story of us and then the story of this game. Because when we first played through, I was like, oh, what's this like Egyptian iconography in space? I mean,
yeah, it's one of those. It's kind of like that's the leaping off point, right? Like it's not ancient, you know, Akkadian, the video game.
right.
But for sure, there's an interconnectivity. I always love one of the things that is a super huge strength of Matt that you can really see in Journey as well is he has a tendency to segment the game into these color schemes that don't repeat.
Yeah.
You know, like for example, in Journey, the first time you're in the desert, the sky is green, very intentionally, so that at the very end, spoiler, you finally see a blue sky, and it's like this startlingly beautiful thing, and it makes you realize, oh, I've never seen a blue sky in this game.
Yeah.
Even though I've had big vistas. But the sky was never blue, and it makes it feel like some kind of a rival. It's the same thing, like these emeralds and gold. There's a huge presence of gold in this area of the game. Slight spoiler. And yeah, that's Matt's kind of aesthetic.
It's super effective too. Like going from the sand then to snow. You know, you just feel, you really feel.
I think we're supposed to follow the trail of the lily pads.
We will. I think this might be a good place for us to take a quick 3-minute break. Is that cool? And then when we come back, we will pull.
You feeling overwhelmed by the lily pads?
I'm feeling overwhelmed by the lily pads. How far would you say we're 75% or further into the game?
Yeah.
About?
I mean, it depends on one's rate.
Right.
But well, yeah. In terms of gameplay, I would say that's probably about accurate.
Cool. Well, then I think we'll take a quick pause. Whoa, big video game music nerd. Thank you for the big video game music donation.
Yes.
Before the stream, they finished their project on the Detroit Become Human soundtrack, and they couldn't have done it without the Connor Army. Thank you so much to everybody. Yeah, big video game music nerd is working on a school project, and they put a survey about music in video games, and they had tons and tons of replies. I'm really grateful that was so effective for you. I'm glad to hear that. We'll take some more questions for Austin when we come back from a little 3-minute break here. And we'll pull a winner for our super custom, one-of-a-kind art piece from Austin. You can retweet the pinned tweet to invite your friends, and we'll be back in 3 minutes. We'll see you then. Don't forget to hydrate. You want to know our hydration song? I think you'll like it.
I'm ready.
Make sure to hydrate, friends. We'll see you in 3 minutes.
Nice.
hey everybody, welcome back.
Hello.
How do you do?
Putting the camera back on right as we're talking about the chemistry test
For commencement,
yes.
when Amelia and I met.
between the two of you.
We
Yeah.
asked how we met. We met on
Met on set?
we met on set. At
Yes.
the chemistry read.
I love it.
Hundreds of harps. They
Both.
want to know about hundreds of harps. Is there
There
something we can...
there were 7 harps on this score. Yes.
Whoa.
Yes, we were trying to come up with a good collective noun, you know, like a murder of crows or a pride of lions. So we decided our favorite was an Ethereum of harps.
Ooh.
Ethereum.
I so wish I could take credit for that, but that was our copyist librarian in Jill
Lovely
in London.
Lime 89. Thank you for the gift sub group hug.
Yes, and welcome anybody who's just joining us now. We are here with our special guest, Austin Wintory, who's the composer of this game, Abzu.
I'm even sporting my Abzu hoodie that they gave to team members for Christmas, and you'd think I was doing that, you know, to be on theme and on message today, but it's just that I only wear this. It's like I'm
So people can find you.
I'm totally destroying the elbows
wow.
from leaning all day like this, so it's starting to look a little messed up. It's got a beautiful
look at
situation
this.
on the back, and
I like it.
Giant Squid has a tendency to create really nice hoodies for the team,
beautiful.
so I have a couple of Abzu ones, but this one's my favorite.
That is beautiful.
It's gotten a lot of love though. It's and Angela has sort of, I don't even know what this is. It's like foam from some crazy
It's
cosplay.
custom. One of a kind.
Customized.
Yeah, it's she's done a really good job at keeping this thing from falling apart. Actually, I'm very grateful.
Here, we have Igby Cam working effectively. You guys,
Yes.
you can
Look
use.
at that framing.
Thank you for the gift sub group hugs, and also you guys can hit !guest or !Austin to get connected with Austin on Twitter, and we're super grateful to have him join us here, as well as all of you guys. You can click the little purple heart, green heart at the top of the page, and purple, turn it green, get notifications when we go live. And we are probably, we think, maybe 75%, maybe
I think that's about accurate.
another hour or so of chilling. If you have any questions for Austin, he's
looking
happy to
for-
answer them.
I'm looking for Ethereum of harp photos to show
nice.
you, so you can see the craziness. It was really fun. We recorded at a really amazing studio in London called Air Lyndhurst. We did all the choir recording there and all of the harps. And I knew from the beginning I wanted to do a bunch of harps. And what was fun is it was 7 of them, but it wasn't written, you know, like if you look at an orchestra, you see all the violins playing together, right? That's the violin section. They're all reading the same music and playing in unison the same way like all the sopranos in a choir are all singing the same notes, right? Pretty simple concept. So the assumption was the harps would all have the same situation. We just wanted a big sound, but I thought we can do cool stuff though if we actually if I write 7 harp parts, as if it like 7 individual people, and then what we did is we positioned them the full length of the room, where it's like harp, you know, sort of running counterclockwise in a half circle, harp 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I ever wanted to use just one harp for a moment, I chose number 4. This woman Skyla, who's like one of the best harpists in the world, top call session musician in London. She's in the center of the room, but there were other times where I thought it could be cool if there's like a little harp business on the outskirts, because it's all panned how they were sitting. So harp 1 and 7 are on the extreme outer edges, and I would do things like, you know how harps can do the big glissando, where I would say like, don't do it until I point at you. So I would point, you know, 7, 6, 5, 4, so you get this cascade sweep
sweet.
left to right, and all kinds of cool effects that it was really fun. And
That sounds oh man, to be in the middle of that, what a nice spot to be.
oh yeah, it was like
Sounds
drowning in harps.
heavenly. Oh my god.
It was good times, and it was hilarious because the people in the lobby, you know, usually there's one harp. If it's a huge orchestra, you would have 2.
Right.
And so it was hilarious because like the people in the lobby see someone wheel in with their harp, and then it was like, and then a second, and then a third, and then a fourth, and then a fifth.
Oh my
and
god.
they were mixing the score to the movie Kubi and the 2 strings in the next room, and the guy comes over, the composer, amazing Oscar-winning composer named Dario Marianelli, comes over and it's like, what on earth is going on in here today? Because we were making all kinds of ruckus with harps.
That's
not
I
typical.
love it. I love ruckus with harps.
What a beautiful way to spend your time, man.
It was really it's a good job. I'm really grateful that I get to do this all the time. I swear I'm paying attention also.
If you want to, no, you're good. If you want to airdrop it to me, I can show it to them on the stream.
Yes.
Oh,
when
that's
you
so
do find
smart.
it.
I want to say also, Trickster J, thanks for cheering, and
Ozian, or Ozian, I'm going to guess.
65, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you guys for
Hello,
being here.
Kat.
We
Thanks
love it.
for your donation.
We love
Sending love to Stoic Mom.
Oh, yes. Good night to Stoic Mom, who says good night and hello to you.
Well, goodbye and good night. We love
Beagle
her.
Girl.
She's the best.
Beagle Girl 27, welcome back for 5 months.
And Shanae for here for 8. Deviant Danica, thanks for the gift sub to Matty. Jammy Laugh, thank you for the donation. And it is Autism Awareness Month. Here's $1. Thank you very much.
That is good to know.
We have Jays and Michelle Fremily Win. Thanks for using your Prime. You guys can link your Prime account to Twitch for a free subscription. Angela Camus.
Angel
Yeah.
Kamui.
It takes both Amelia and I to read some of these names.
Sometimes,
One time we were like, Alyssa. I was like, oh, Alyssa. It's Alyssa. Got it. Cuddy Annie, thanks for being here with your
I
rare
think that
parrot.
means you might need to spend more time reading books. And
And
Potentially, yeah.
people have some interesting usernames.
no, it's true. I'm actually the worst, especially once you get all the the leet speak style. I don't even know if that term exists anymore. If I'm just showing my age. But all the like random interchanging of letters and numbers.
Yeah.
And I can't do it. My brain, I can't. I'm not fluent in it. Won't happen.
Well, this one, Mr. Kin Sasha. Sasa.
Sasha.
Thank you for being here for 3 months.
Deviant Danica, thanks for cheering.
Raylin Boysvert, thanks for subscribing.
Atmospheric Anna, back for 8 months.
Yee.
Oh!
Systemics.
Systemics.
Thank you for the gift sub group
Thank
hug.
you
We
for
missed
the
you
gift sub
earlier.
group hug. Yes, we did.
We gotta throw an Igby cam up there so that everybody knows.
Do we know Systemics?
Systemics is a true supporter and many-time gift sub giver, and I think really just a fan of Igby.
Oh yeah.
That's
Clearly.
very
I mean,
sweet.
I thought about making Igby cam just the whole screen, but we haven't devolved to that point
one
just
day
yet.
we'll do that for a specific stream.
Saku Artsy, thanks
All right,
for
would
being
you
here
like-
for 9 months.
Would you like this?
Oh yeah, cool. Can you airdrop it to me?
Well, from my Samsung,
Maybe
maybe
not.
tricky, but I can
Email
text it to you.
Yeah, text it to me. Or
I think.
can I give it to you my email? We'll get it on the computer.
Yep.
He's looking real satisfied. That's a face
I'm
of
gonna
a
figure this
satisfied
out.
eggs.
Wait for it.
Cloud Guardian, thank you for those cheers. HP DBH Nerd 2442 back for 2 months. Juicy Piano, thanks for using your Prime. Dusty Kiwi, thanks
Juicy
for cheering.
piano is an interesting notion.
Spade 7K, welcome back. Rare Parrot for 10 months.
Ooh,
Holy
lovely.
wow. Oh, Cryptic Krista, thank you for the gift sub group hug. I think I'm gonna give some eggs some
I
catnip
love this
now.
Troy. His face is like
So stoic.
so. Yes. So
We have
so
one-
like he's going. What is happening right now?
If somebody cheers 42 bits, being of course the meaning of life.
Yep. Of
It's
course.
just a gif of Troy kind of squeezing Igby's face towards the camera. Watch, it'll probably happen here at some point.
Troy. They don't like that.
No, they love that. Wait for it. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that earlier and had no idea what was going on.
Why is this?
Oh.
There we go.
I like the catnip
Harp.
because it keeps him stationary for a while.
There you
Go.
go.
Thank you, my dude.
It is
Kamina,
my
welcome back
pleasure.
for 10 months.
Thank you for the easy name, Kamina.
Kamina. I thought it was
Hated
Camino,
Rose.
and I was like, wow, do we have a Attack of the Clones fan in here? And nope, turns out no.
I'm Attack of the, I mean,
Yeah?
of the prequels, I think I'll take that. I mean, I don't know.
This is a whole interesting conversation, right? I'm even sporting my
Yeah,
This is
you got your
a
episode 7 hat.
Yeah, a friend of mine who worked on the visual effects. This is a crew hat, so
Nice.
it looks like I'm really throwing down on behalf of the Force Awakens. I do not. I want to. I so wished to love those films, but I think they have a tendency to retroactively make the prequels look better.
Damn. That's another stream.
Is that another stream?
I mean,
Is that like
we could do a whole
Star
We
Wars
just-
throwdown?
fill this room with as many Star Wars fans as you possibly can.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll have as many. Here we go. This is the image, right? Yep. So check this out. This is the
Look
one.
at this posing from Igby, you guys.
This
This is like modeling for a painting class.
Right?
Yeah.
So here is our here.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah, put it over me. Do it. Do it.
over you.
Yes.
Okay, we can't cover Igby, but we'll cover you, my wife.
It's
So here, let's cover all of us for a split second. Check that out. Here, we can even put Igby Cam back on top. Oh no, that's wait. There, Iggs. Now you're in your. Can you imagine Igby? Can you imagine
an
being
8
there?
harp ensemble, one of which might be an Igby.
And so this must be you here on the block,
That's me. Yep.
looking good.
That's Air Lyndhurst Hall in London. A lot of stuff been recorded there. Amazing studio. It was kind of run by, and I think founded by, if I'm remembering correctly, I should know this, but I can't. But George Martin, the Beatles, legendary
yes.
producer, who had worked with them at Abbey Road very famously. This became his sort of home.
Cool.
After that.
Well, we the fun fact about Abbey Road, they didn't compose, but they recorded Kara's score at Abbey Road too.
Oh, yes, they did.
Little Detroit Become Human
Yeah,
connection.
yeah.
I'm sure many amazing things have been there.
Oh yes.
Well, yeah. it's
Thank you for
Abbey
sharing.
Road.
Thank you for sharing the photo. All right.
So
Yeah.
cool.
It only
that
took
out.
me about 25 minutes and lots of scrolling through my Facebook uploads.
You did great, young
I was
man.
very well equipped for that, as you can see. Between that and sitting here looking for the lyrics at the beginning, I'm clearly loaded for bear.
You're doing great. I have a few questions for you from our friends, but first we have to pull a winner. Will you Vanna White this for me, just to show them how old we are and that they don't know what they're like? What's a Vanna White? Drum roll, please, in the chat. This is how this is going to work. I got it. All you have to do is type into the chat anything at all. Let's even do it where
Anything at all.
type where you're streaming from. Could be another way to do it. We'd love to see where you're all tuning in from, and you will win this amazing art valued at over $13,000.
13 million.
$13,013,000. Let's get the drum roll. We have friends from Wales, Quebec, NYC,
Singapore,
Oklahoma, St.
Mexico,
Petersburg.
Germany,
How do you do?
Brazil.
Wow, we're all
Boston.
over. There's some people who are in
Greece.
very late time zones right now.
Right?
Yes.
It's past your bedtime because they want to win this.
Yeah,
it's worth
for real.
$13,13 million.
Queensland,
Israel.
Australia. So it's like
In the morning.
Thursday night or Friday or sometime in 2020 there.
Oh, it's New Zealand, Japan,
Whoa, Tennessee. I know about you.
I'm
Ohio,
in LA from Michigan. I think they're right out.
Morocco.
And they're like, I'm watching. I'm looking out the
Vancouver.
window.
I am in the window.
That's not how math works. You're right, Williams. Drum roll. Here we go. Let's. Do you want to do?
How do you choose? You
Can
just
you compose this drum roll for me? Where's- Ding! And the winner is. Ooh! Triceratops 900.
Triceratops.
it's
Triceratops
Triceratops.
with 3 long horns.
That's perfect. You don't even know how perfect because
Back.
Matt Nava. I didn't mean to interrupt your serenade just then. Sorry.
It's all good.
Matt, creator of Abzu, art director Journey, is like the biggest dinosaur freak in the universe.
Whoa.
And so Triceratops is a spot on. This is very on theme here.
Good.
You've done
Excellent.
good.
You done good, Triceratops.
Done. Good.
So we'll pull another winner again at the end of the stream for another postcard, but not this custom artwork, which is going to you, Triceratops.
I'm gonna write
900.
Triceratops on here.
Yes, here's their
Triceratops
spelling,
with 3
if you like it.
long horns, a beak and a beak and a tail and a no, I'm forgetting the song.
It's pretty good.
Triceratops with 3 long horns, a beak and a neck and a tail and back, and Triceratops with 3 long horns and a tail in back.
Sweet. Nicely done.
That's from elementary school.
A Scared Serpent, thank you for the Austin donation. We'll make sure he gets that.
That's the other Austin.
Payable
The
upon
other Austin.
his exit. Born in Pluto and Caddy, Deviant Danica, Katie Rose, Silinx, Systemix. Thank you guys for Systemix. Thank you for
Systemix.
cheering. We appreciate you guys. So, do you have any like blooper? That's a blooper question. I don't know how. Do composers
blooper-
have a lot of funny things happen to you while working on this game? Any of that kind of?
Probably. Let me think. There's always shenanigans, and there's always horrible mistakes well, this isn't a blooper, but it's kind of a fun trivia.
What's fun trivia?
The Journey Mountain may or may not be hidden in this game somewhere.
There's fish heads.
Those are fish heads. That's not the Journey Mountain.
May as well be.
Are you the Journey Mountain?
What's that creature creature.
Wait,
Frogs.
we've come up onto the land. This
You're
is
walking.
This is pretty significant here. This is a creation myth if I've ever heard of one.
And you'll notice that the music was triggered by you getting underwater. Clarinets recorded in Nashville. We were all over the
Nashville in the
place.
house.
Actually, the funny thing with this score is that we recorded the orchestra, which included these woodwinds, in Nashville, strings and all that stuff. And then, like, one day later, we were in London with the choir and the harps, and there was only one flight that was possible to not miss our own recording session.
Oh, no.
So I was sitting there like, please, and we had to go through Chicago, and God knows that airport never has delays. So I was like, there's a real good chance the score to Abzu is going to get thrown to hell right here this weekend. But it all went beautifully. Oh, there's the Big B strangulation again.
Yeah, it seemed like a mix between affection and...
Yeah, it was
And now
sweet.
we're moving into flight.
What?
I mean, also, as I understand it, we spent a long time underwater before we evolved
Yes.
to the land and then to flight.
That is true.
Eons. Does this mean we're gonna fly if I jump out there? Because
You're gonna fly about as well as any human.
do you trust me?
I
I
trust,
trust you.
Then jump! Sweet. I really wanted to fly though. Wow.
Namsen Beaton, welcome back for 6 months. Love from Japan.
Ah, and Gina the Daydream is back for 8 months.
And Cryolse. Thanks for the donation. It's one damn fine piece of art. This gave you.
I
It
think
definitely
they
didn't
meant-
mean the postcard,
No,
that's for
yeah,
sure.
I meant this one right
No,
here.
no way, not a chance.
Something it's damn fine in art.
No, I would happily label the game as a piece of art.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
absolutely.
For sure. It was tough on Matt because he was effectively game director and art director.
What's it?
What?
Go up. Turn
Above the
around,
water?
turn around. It's one of those things.
That's a penguin
Wait,
thing.
a penguin.
Wait, what are you telling me
I
to
was
do?
talking about another thing that is
That's a...
that is
It's a
very
snail
old.
thing.
Yeah, it has a special name. Who knows what that?
This ancient dude.
Yeah, that's ancient.
Name yourself, ancient dude.
Hmm?
Yeah, you may or may not be swimming with things that are long extinct.
Yeah, that's not a penguin at all. That's a
That's a platypus type thing.
proto-platypus. A protopus.
Nautilus.
That's what that is, Hector?
Yeah.
We've
Lord
been-
Helix.
We've been watching One Strange Rock. Have you seen that one?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
You will love it. Check it out. You will love it too.
Where do I see this?
Netflix. It is really good. It's a documentary series where they interview astronauts.
From
Wow. That's
with
not all what I was expecting to say.
yeah, with over 1,000 days in space between them. It's narrated by Will Smith.
Darren Aronofsky is directing it.
Oh, actually, now you're it's kind of piecing together. I feel I've heard of this.
It's really good. If you like Blue Planet or
Yeah, oh, yeah.
any of that kind of stuff.
It's really good. Highly recommend.
Space age technology.
Open the doors.
Eel face.
Eel face.
Have you ever seen an eel deep in one of your dives?
I have, and actually, one of the coolest dives I ever went on was a night dive. I've only done it once, but it's kind of unforgettable because it's so intense. Because it's pitch black. I mean, you literally, without a flashlight, you hold your hand out, you can't see your own fingers.
That's not for me, man.
And no, I promise, it's awesome. And but of course you do have a flashlight.
Right.
And I'm with a dive group, so we all have flashlights, and everybody has a tendency to kind of point at the same thing. And so we were all kind of aiming our flashlights at the coral and whatever, making our way along the bottom. And at one point I was like, I'm just curious if I just shine it out into the dark, what will reveal? and a big giant free swimming eel was right in sight when I did that. And it was the cool because you always see them kind of hanging out inside of a rock, you know, with their heads sticking out, just kind of moseying with the current, right? And so this was a sort of shocking and amazing moment to just witness this thing out like a big snake, just sort of cruising along, you know. And it probably was like blinded by this thing it's not used to.
Of course.
And it was so cool. It was really I love it. You know, because it's really not dangerous. People get like your reactions right now. There's this assumption
like it's gonna
that,
eat me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know they got another set of jaws inside there, bro.
I mean,
the eel
only 1 out of 2 divers end up getting eaten. Odds are fine.
50-50 chance of being eaten by an eel.
No, I mean, come on, it's so worth it for those like 1 in a million like dolphins randomly come and say hi or things like that. It's pretty awesome. It's really, I mean, because the worst case scenario is you're just like floating amongst coral and kelp and stuff, which is really serene and beautiful. So you know.
How long did it take you to get certified to scuba?
A couple months. You know, I got certified in high school and went a bunch of time in my 20s, and haven't been in several years. But I love it. We did all kinds of special. My dad and I would do it together. We would go like deep sea, deep diving, where you have like to qualify for the certification. They give you a little like chalkboard thing that works underwater, and they have you do like multiplication problems and division problems and things like that by hand at depth, and then on the boat to test, because your brain starts working slower at depth because of combination of water pressure and like nitrogen,
fear of eels,
and so it was like part of the certification is just literally going down and doing math sitting in 120 feet of water to see how much it slows you down, because you're in the moment you're like, it feels normal, and then you look at the clock and it's like, it took 10 seconds longer than it did on the surface. And yeah, it was full of little things. It was good times.
Interesting.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Do we have any divers with us in the chat?
Oh, there's gotta be.
How do I get in there? We want in.
Jacksepticeye.
Jacksepticeye?
Jacksepticeye.
We're in the very pro Troy.
Hey, Jack.
Wait. Hi.
What's up? How do you do?
Oh, good to see you.
Yeah, I hope you had a good time at PAX, Jax.
Thanks for being here.
Top of the morning to you! Does it get old ever? I love it.
Have you guys done the PAX thing?
Yes.
We did. We saw Jack at PAX West in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Like this
Last year.
Yeah.
How'd that treat you?
It was fun.
Great.
We
It's
got
awesome,
to meet a
isn't
ton
it?
of people.
PAX is super cool.
Everybody's freaking out.
I'm freaking out too.
Glad to have you join us, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for being here.
My favorite, I've never met Jack, but Troy and I did a kind of holiday project together.
Oh, yeah.
That's like a Christmas single, except it's a spoken word thing. It's a cool little thing you can find on YouTube. It's called Some Change. And so we did it in collaboration with a singer, songwriter, lyricist, composer friend in Australia named Jan, who's part of a group called Tripod, and so we did this thing, and Jack shared it, and so all the comments on YouTube are like, Jack brought me here. So I get daily notifications. That's like, I don't know what this is, but Jack seems to think it's cool.
Hey,
So we're grateful. I'm
if
grateful
he thinks
for that.
it's cool, man.
Yeah, it became instantly validated.
So I'm assuming you've played this game before, Mr. Septic Eye. How do I get in this little spot?
I feel like you have to find something to open up the doors.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal. Hal. Because we gotta get that other chain.
Yeah, this is enjoyable for me to watch as a way to kind of study how well we. I mean, I can't take any credit for how well they, I guess, did the level design. Well, no, I mean, but this specific challenge.
What's that coral right there? Is that special?
It is special because it's orange.
It's a circle.
Oh, get yourself a wife that likes to find the right things. Here we go.
Yeah. Lady Michelle, welcome back for 10 months. And DB Danica, thanks for the gifts to Giuseppe. And Dismection, welcome back for 10 months.
Hey.
You have released more creatures.
Ooh, I like them.
I did not open the door for you, though.
Well, that's all right.
But you have a more enjoyable landscape in which to be lost.
Yes.
God is closer.
Seascape.
Noctical.
So maybe we can find another one of those. Keep your eyes peeled, Amelia. When we play The Last of Us, Amelia tells me when I go past all the loot. Basically.
Yes.
She's like, "That you're gonna need shiny. It's shiny."
I love the kind of double sort of pilot co-pilot situation.
Uh-huh.
You know, like the navigator or.
Should meditate on top of a shark. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, I think so.
We need to concentrate.
Focus.
It's not a meditation shark. This is a defensive.
Actually, though, maybe
Defensive
if we go
shark.
through that, if we go through that little,
Wanna go down there?
yeah.
Secret tunnels. I don't know. I like the tile work.
That's very, very fancy.
Good grout.
Like a bathroom with a tile like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is just passageways. I don't know if we can.
I'm seeing some people give me a hint.
Some people are giving you a hint.
Go breathe now, someone says.
Oh yeah. Should we go breathe?
I think so.
I think you were actually really close at one point to going the right way.
That's how it is. Just to frustrate people later on the YouTube upload.
Yes.
Maybe go up
Go
above
up and
this.
up and above.
Yes.
Oh, maybe we should continue staying above. Now? Yes, eggs.
It's like, more treats.
I see that kind of treasure
There's
chest.
something very promising looking up these stairs.
I like it.
Something is happening. That's serious business.
That's serious. That's access granted.
Okay, can we just admire this room for a second?
Yes. Look at this.
Look at this room.
Big old proto dolphins.
Yep. Yep.
Their mega eyes.
Matt is a big nerd for this stuff. Oh, do I get another?
Another round of Igby.
Yeah, you gonna come up here?
He'll
Until
return.
the next. Until the next.
Next treat.
Yeah. Until the next on-camera.
You can just pick
Appearance.
them up and.
Well, this is a consensual situation. I'm being sized up, I'm being given this look like.
Yeah, he's
you're
like, I
worth
don't know,
it.
you got a lap up there, or just looking for something smooth and flat?
You can't sit on my lap without her sit on his.
You'll be happy to know that this was always the area of the game that seemed to give people the most orientation trouble, but man, was it way worse at one point. It was just completely, if you didn't know your way around, it just all was one giant maze, and they had a few playtests where people were just super frustrated.
You know, it's you know, you spend so much time underwater
Yeah.
that it's like, you know,
don't even
you
think
don't even
about
consider going above.
Yep, that's why the game tries to not spoon feed it, and it's not really trying to be hard, but it's just hopefully enough to feel like that little dopamine, hey, I did a thing.
Right.
Yeah, mission successful.
This reminds me of a game, I don't even know what the name of it was, but I used to play it all the time in elementary school, where you start off as a tiny little, it's probably called fish or something. You start as a tiny little fish, and if you touch any fish that's bigger than you, that fish eats you. But if you find a smaller fish, you eat that fish and get a little bigger, and then slowly the fish gets bigger and bigger, and I used to play that game all the time. Does anybody know what that's
Elementary
called?
school. What were you playing in?
This was elementary school, so before any of you were born,
Sea turtle.
Mega Sea Turtle. I was playing on like original, like the Mac that's like
The
a
Apple
giant
IIGS.
block. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like Oregon Trail machine.
It's,
Oregon
yes,
Trail.
like Oregon Trail. Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, the
All right.
ones that had the big 5.5-inch floppy that the computer wouldn't turn on unless you put the disc in. Those are the classics.
Dude, I love this turtle.
Who else has played Oregon Trail? Let's have a raise of hands, show of hands. Anybody else?
You want to see our pull
Yes.
mechanism? We can take a poll.
Let's pull.
Let's do a poll here. Amelia, float along nicely. All right, we're gonna show. I like to show this off because I like the poll. This one's for you, Jack. If you're still here, this is our polling mechanism. So,
Excited.
Oregon Trail.
More space age technology.
Yes, please. No, don't want to die of. How do you spell dysentery?
I was gonna say yeah, like typhoid fever.
It's- This is how, by the way I learn to spell anything is by misspelling it into the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they're
Don't
like-
you like the guiding hand that's like,
Alright,
you're not gonna check this. Google can convince us of anything.
here we go. Here it comes. We're slowly improving our setup. Can't move because it's locked. So you can type 1 or 2 into the stream chat. 1 for Oregon Trail, yes please.
Ooh, I love this real time.
Isn't that fun? I live for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is gonna be how many items can you do? Is it only 1 or 2?
Oh, we could do I think 12, but then it
Yeah.
starts to
I think
run off
8
the
is
thing.
the 8 and 5.
All right, I'm gonna have to think of another. I'm gonna have to
we
think
can
of a good.
Whole anything.
How many people are watching right now? I'm trying to get a sense of our sample size here.
It's a matter really of how many people will want to type into the chat, because some people watching on a console or mobile, it's a little more.
Yeah, no, yeah, of course, it's gonna be like a subset.
A couple hundred votes, I guess you would get.
Chat.
This is like Twitch plays Pokemon, you know. I once was at GDC in the experimental gameplay workshop, and somebody did they designed a drone, like a robot, like a roving thing on wheels, that was that responded to specific chat item, like specific words in Twitch chats.
Oh, sweet.
So you typed like forward, left, right, stop. And so like hundreds of people were on the thing trying to collectively pilot a robot through the audience at GDC.
That's awesome.
And so it was hilarious because it would be coming at you and it has a camera that is what's on the stream. So everyone's kind of trying, it was just
That's really cool.
beautiful chaos. It was such a disaster and it was hilarious.
Yeah, we make a lot of decisions based off polls.
Yes.
Here.
Dinner tonight is dysentery.
Dysentery. Well, it looks like 82% of you are down for some Oregon Trail.
Yeah, that is a landslide.
Are people
back.
are people streaming Oregon Trail these days?
Maybe we are.
What's the latest edition of Oregon Trail that's been?
Well,
Like
you gotta
they
do the classic.
remastered
Find,
that?
find like an emulator that'll do the original, like 1989 or whatever it was.
Oh man,
Yeah,
we're gonna have
that's
to
my
fly.
era too.
Birds underwater.
We're in like Dino Park Tycoon.
Oh yeah.
Played so much Dino Park Tycoon. Gotta electrify those fences.
I never actually saw if anybody responded to the. You know what's
The
funny?
fish question?
The diver.
Here's a funny thing. I've never seen that rainbow before. Did you see the rainbow?
Yeah, I love that rainbow.
I don't think I've ever seen that. How am I learning new things about Abzu?
Here it is, man. That rainbow is just for us. I'm gonna try to fly across here and see how it goes.
Good luck with that.
Well, look at all these are all the places we've been. We've passed through all this. We're way up in the same environment. I'm gonna give it a leap. I feel confident. No. Have you ever done what do you call it? I mean,
Olympic high diving?
yeah. Have you ever left off a giant pillar?
I have
before?
my Olympics days are in the past. The body just wears out, you know?
I
Yeah.
went to the next natural thing, which was
It's
composing
funny.
for video.
Yes,
games.
exactly. There's a large kind of revolving door between Olympic athletes and video game composers.
And Michael Phelps did all of the performance capture for this, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yeah, we had to keep saying slower. This is not it's not like this, what you're used to.
Slower.
Yeah, this is not a speedrun kind of game.
Ooh, bubbles. Ooh,
Here we go.
pretty.
Do you think they worked with an actor for the movement? So that I mean, it's,
Oh, I know that they didn't. It's all just by
Animated.
hand animation.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's their thing. Look at that.
Ooh,
That is definitely not alive today.
that's a long neck. I mean, maybe there's one of them underneath the Great Arctic Plate or something. You know?
Yes, or in the
Look at that neck.
Look,
Loch Ness Lake.
Love that Loch Ness Lake. That is a long neck.
That's what kind of creature is this?
We refer.
Elasamoris?
Yes.
Okay, wait, here.
It's basically like a Twitch chat name.
Thank you, Elasa Morris, for subscribing for 6 months.
Okay.
Elasmosaur.
Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Hello, Elasmosaur.
I think that's. I think it's Elasmosaur.
Elasmosaur. Well, there he is depicted. Look at his neck on the wall.
Super squiggly.
Yeah, they ran out of real estate, so you know.
Yeah, I've had to write letters like that sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
This is cool. We should do a curiosity stream on prehistoric underwater creatures. We do this thing called Curiosity Chill, which is we'll take polls and basically research a different topic depending on what people are feeling up to. And we've done prehistoric mammals, and we did one for Pi Day, which was a lot of fun.
Yes, we learned that there's a language called Pilish.
Of course there is.
That mathematicians use, where you create sentences using the formula or the number for pi.
The ratio.
So
That sounds
first
like-
with a 3-letter word, then a 1-letter word.
Is there
Four-letter
any
word.
actual use for that, or is that just like Mensa kind of stuff of like, I need to prove my brain power, and so I'm going to communicate with pi digits?
Yeah, I think it's more of I feel like it's like a written out thing. It's more like, here's a poem written in Pilish.
Yeah.
Because it takes you gotta be kind of
At those
premeditated.
starfish moving.
Also, you have an angelic glow about you right now,
You
Austin.
do, look at you.
As the
think that
sun
means-
sets behind
I
you.
think that means I've died, and
That's what the rainbow was?
yes,
It was that
exactly.
one
It was
moment.
mourning me, and soon I shall join my ancestors.
These guys are friendly.
Big-eyed dolphins.
Have you played this indie game called Everything, Austin?
I know of the game. I'm friends with some people that worked on it. I have not. Pretty sure I bought it. I kind of compulsively buy all the releases, especially like indie ones that are by people I know. I have a tendency to make sure they're in my Steam library or whatnot. But I actually don't think I think I've only just watched like demos of it. I don't think I've actually gotten my hands on it. But it's hard. I'm trying to remember because they had it at GDC at one point, and either way, I know it's Alan Watts the video game. You know, it's poetry or like not even but like philosophy reading jams
Right.
amidst subatomic particles.
Whoa.
We are so glowing.
Super glow.
Amelia, it's almost as if. Have you seen the show Touched by an Angel way back when?
Oh yeah.
It's Austin and I are your angels,
I
Amelia.
like it. ZX Lauren XD.
Underwater
Thank you
water.
for using your time.
Skyrith totally gets what's going on here.
Underwater water. I remember, I don't even know what the story was, but I remember reading a story about a lagoon where, like, they went so deep down into the lagoon that basically a cave, they were deep underwater in a cave, but then they came back up again and there's air basically trapped inside. Do you think a place like that exists?
Oh, they for sure exist, and
Yeah?
usually, depending on where it is, the air is like super highly toxic because it hasn't been sort of recycled through the surface oxygen and all that, and so it's very often not breathable. So the light. So that show I mentioned earlier, Light in the Void.
Uh-huh.
The lighting designer on the show she's this total crazy lighting superstar. She does like Childish Gambino's light for his shows, and she's unbelievably brilliant. And all she does in her spare time, seemingly, when she's not doing crazy lighting shows, is go diving. And she is a hardcore like cave diver, deep dive, does free cave diving where it's like 45 minutes in on a double tank where it's super dangerous. She's unbelievable. She takes the most incredible photos, and she's put on her Instagram before like here is, a cave that I would die if I took my mask off right now. Because this is oxygen that's like 50,000 years sealed. Or it's not oxygen, it's just atmosphere.
Right.
So it's full of all kinds of crap. Plus, like, whatever life is maybe like secreting methane or whatever up into it, and so it's just wildly unbreathable. So yeah, those places for sure exist, and they're really pretty. There's cool stuff inside of them. You just would die if you try to take a mask off.
Interesting.
Look at this cave. This is like...
I love these floating lilies. Glowing lilies.
Right? We open this big gate. Is it time?
Someone must have asked, who is that there? Because I see these responses like, that's Austin.
Oh, that's Austin. Oh, by the way, if you're just joining right now, this is Austin Wintory, who's the composer of this game and many others. You can check him out on Twitter by typing !guest or Austin into the stream chat.
Yes.
Yay!
Do what's right.
He also composed the music for Journey, which is another one of our favorites.
And he has the Guinness Book of World Records record for most harps in... what was it? An epiphany of hearts? No.
An Ethereum of
An
hearts.
Ethereum.
I like an epiphany of hearts. That's good. I'm sure we didn't have the most, but we definitely had a lot. It was, to give you a sense of it, you can usually put together a recording session like overnight if you have to in London or LA or even in Nashville where there's a deep talent pool of great musicians available, for instant calls if need be. And I remember I was in London recording Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and I knew Abzu was coming. I'd already started writing the score, and so I was talking to the orchestra contractor, who's the person whose job is to assemble the musicians for you and kind of make sure that it's all the best players and that they're paid and all that kind of stuff. And I told her, I want to do 7 harps, and she was like, that's going to be just about every harpist in London.
Wow.
And so she said, tell you what, give me like 3 months notice, and we'll make sure that happens for you. It's the only session I've had to plan that far in advance.
Wow.
Because she was like, you may not get 7 harps if you don't.
Oh, we're collecting our friends now.
It's kind of a big musical moment, so I feel like it's untoward of me to bury the score.
Come, friends.
We're hearing harps in Nashville simultaneous, harps in London simultaneous to orchestra in Nashville. And soon choir.
I love this.
It's a little hard to hear that. But that's all 7 of the harps in together. At the bottom of their range. Fun times. Here's our lovely choir.
Atlantis!
Yeah.
That's what you know we'll always call it too. May as well be.
Yeah.
Another big ball for you.
Oh my gosh. It's beautiful. It reminds me of beautiful old cathedrals
Right?
inside of like Notre Dame.
And the Northern Lights kind of like...
Systemics, thank you for the gift sub.
So right below you, you'll see there's like a ginormous group of fish.
Uh-huh.
They're not even fish, they're like the ancient... as my throat decides to abandon. Random trivia about the game. I can't speak with expertise about this, but in order to create typical animation, you have to create basically a virtual skeleton, right? That has actual points, and that you graph textures onto. Motion capture is going to be like the super extreme advanced version of that, but even just basic animation, you build a skeleton that then you program in basic rules like laws of physics in order to govern how it can move. But that takes a lot of CPU, and they wanted to do like, 20, 30,000 fish on screen at any given moment. And so it would have never been, no computer could possibly run that in real time, especially with procedural behavioral patterns where they're actually interacting with each other as independent AI, each one of them.
Wow.
So Matt developed this crazy vector system where none of these have skeletons. They're all being sort of generated mathematically. And so it's not traditional animation at all in order to be able to get that level of density, because there's literally thousands of them. And the first time that worked and like they fired at the build and it was there and I saw it and I was like, I can't, this is insanely beautiful. Like I can't believe, and you see how they all move independently kind of from you. There's not pre-baked animation, they're just reacting to it. Then developed some serious tech in this game, which for a team of like 10 people,
That's amazing.
it's pretty nuts. They're geniuses.
That's really cool.
Glorious.
Yeah, I'm always in awe of what these people. It always makes my job feel so comparatively simple. Like I just have to put notes in front of some musician. Like what I'm doing is coming from like a 600-year tradition, but these guys are like inventing the future.
Right. That's one of the things I think is the most fun about video games is that each time someone develops a game, so much has to be created just specifically for that experience.
Well, especially the kind of game that you're coming from.
Oh
Because
yeah.
it's sort of next level.
Yeah, they had three different composers for that game. So each of the protagonists had and Nima, Ostad Nima, you can type ! Nima, who did Connor's score, also streams on Twitch. So maybe these guys
Really?
can convince you to
I
get
didn't
up
know
on
that.
Twitch and
Bubbles.
do your own streams, man.
My bubbles.
I had no idea. That's funny.
Okay, so we got more chains.
I actually remember when my agent called me a couple years ago and said that Quantic Dream was hunting for this combo of 3 composers.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure they threw my name into the hat. I never had a meeting or anything on it. I'd forgotten all about it by the time they announced what that was about. I was like, oh, that was the thing.
You want to do what we can? Oops, wrong cam. Goodbye.
That's the premium subscription tier. Cam.
Yeah, there's if you
The
subscribe
saucy cam.
at 10 years of subscription, you just get a 24-hour live feed of
Yeah. You need to attach a little GoPro.
Igby Vision.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you're working on a game like this, because I mean, in Detroit we worked with like all of the scenes basically became micro scenes, beats, because they have to evolve as the player unlocks them.
Yep.
And then with something like this, like you have to be able to merge them together without. So how does it even go into the edit? Like how does it? I don't really even understand. Is it happening simultaneously? Like its own? There's a visual experience of the game, and then it's audio experience of the game, and then those things mirror each other, or is it like this
essentially
visual
how
has
does the
this
music
audio?
get into the game? Is that effectively what you're?
Yeah, I mean, because like I can think of it for like if you're recording a video and you have your video file and your audio file.
Ah, right, sure.
And it's a continuous thing. But with this, how do you?
Well, so
deal
there's
with
your
that?
you've kind of tapped onto the answer, because where's my window here? Movie starts here, audio starts here. They travel together. This is the very definition of linear, and games are non-linear. Even a game like this, which is pretty linear,
Right.
they're inherently non-linear. So you have to think of music in this whole new way. Something's happening.
Something magical.
Wait for it. No one breathe. I feel like you have a very full hard drive or something.
Yes, I do. Too many games. Not breathing.
There it comes. Ooh.
Oh, here we are with all of them. These are all the different pillars.
Doesn't the sort of quote ceiling above you look so startlingly familiar to where you just were? It's all some kind of crazy interconnected scheme.
Oh man, it really feels like a temple.
I know it does.
You were there, and you, Manta Ray, and the middlemost orb.
I love how depending on your sort of outlook on life, Journey or Flower or Abzu are either like these beautiful inward-looking sort of spiritual or affirmation of self kind of games, or they're just crazy acid trips. Look at this.
He's
look at this
back.
old pal.
He's back.
He's back. Old Sharky.
Great white glow.
Your harp action.
Yes. What? Yes, I love this. Wow, what a beautiful place.
Our shark friend.
Hey, Shark friend, can we roll with you? Hey!
I love this just childlike wonder and delight. I don't even have. There's no point in even saying anything. I just love just watching your faces. I don't usually sit at kind of ground zero of the Abzu experience like this.
Man, I love this shark leaping out. Whoa, he's got some major ups, this guy. Yes! Bliss! Oh. I mean, before.
Petals?
Where? Oh, yeah?
Are those fish or petals? Or both?
There.
Anything is possible.
I think they're
Fish.
They're so colorful, they look like flowers, though. Come on, Shark, let's roll this way. You're going,
Down the pathway.
oh no! Ain't no problem for the shark. Oh, get out of here.
Oh wait, we're taking them out?
Yeah, the shark doesn't mind. He's done with this. Get out of my ocean.
The shrewd listener will hear every little inch of progression here is changing the music. It's not supposed to be obvious, but you'll notice every time you do stuff, it's like hearing choir suddenly I wasn't hearing a second ago. It's like months of work to make 4 minutes of gameplay actually come off.
Well, thank you for the months of work, my
Oh,
friend.
it was my pleasure. I did it all for this moment. We got Kristen again on oboe. So yeah, my attempt at answering your question is that it's all about thinking non-linearly. You don't just put it against the footage and then just cross your fingers, because you have to always bear in mind that at any given moment you're not controlling what the player does.
Right.
So you have to figure out, like, but you know, the sort of low-hanging fruit of that is just create endless loops. But I'm not a fan of that at all, because that's basically missing an opportunity to be a storyteller. You know, because music is, if it just endlessly repeats itself, you're no different than being like stuck on an iTunes playlist and you can't go anywhere. So you have to figure out, how do we make music advance and yet not lead the player, let the player lead it. My goal is always that it should feel like I'm somehow over your shoulder, much like right now.
Like literally right now.
Essentially,
Oh, God.
yeah. Don't be alarmed. I'm essentially composing. It should feel like I'm essentially composing the music as you're playing.
Right. And like it's being written in the moment. Yeah.
Like it is sort of spontaneously generated. And so that if you decide to be super chill and luxurious in your pace, it just spins out, or if you're powering through, it keeps pace with you and everything in between.
So cool.
It involves huge amounts of playtest. Because, like, you have to figure out, well, what are the actual bounds? Like, how fast is it realistic to go through this area? Or how slow can you go? And if I really just stop playing, set the controller down and go make dinner, like, is the music going to get stuck? Is it going to break?
Right.
You know, what are the limits? Like, even to the extreme.
Well, the whole water level's rising.
So what inspired you
Brightness up.
to start composing in the first place? What was your beginning?
Well, he got his Olympic gold.
Yeah, exactly. After retiring from the butterfly, I was a kid. I was not into music at all. Like, literally didn't listen to bands, didn't play any instruments, didn't go to concerts. It was just fundamentally not in my life. I was into video games. I was into movies, comics. I wanted to be a writer. I was like, I liked storytelling, and I liked just sort of creativity in general. Like, I would draw my own comic books, which are horrible, like terrible. Like, I didn't draw them. They were basically fan fiction. You know, they were like X-Men fanfic. Because I watched movies and played games, I realized at some point I started poking at the piano, and I realized I could kind of figure out the melodies in the stuff I liked. And I couldn't have told you, like, I would come up to the piano and go, you know, bum, 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 and I couldn't have said
John
the
Williams
name
stole
John
that
Williams.
shit from you.
Yes, exactly. I couldn't have told you the name John Williams.
Right.
But I knew that music because I knew it. To me, it was attached to the frame. You know, it wasn't separately its own thing. But I definitely was discovering this love kind of inch by inch. And so, long, crazy, weird story. My parents kind of convinced me to get a piano teacher, and when my teachers asked, "What do you want to learn? What kind of interest are you? You know, you think you might want to learn jazz? Are you interested in learning just like your favorite songs on the radio? Do you want to learn classical music? Whatever." He was one of these guys who could play anything and was open to teaching me anything. And I said, I actually have no idea, because I don't really listen to music, so I don't really know what are my options. And the next week he showed up with his favorite music and brought a stack of vinyl records of Jerry Goldsmith film scores to movies like the original Planet of the Apes and Patton from 1970, and a bunch of stuff that instantly, I was like, in 1 second I thought, that's what I want. That's what I want to do. I couldn't read music. I didn't know anything about anything. But just the imaginativeness of that music, Jerry Goldsmith in particular, I was just an instant convert. I said, that's what I want to do. And I was about 10. And so I started immediately, like, writing music at the piano. And then I realized there's this concept of the orchestra. And so about age 14, you know, you go to high school. And I went marching into the high school orchestra. And I said, I'm going to start writing music for you guys. And the teacher said, okay. And I was able to have free reign of the student orchestra every day for basically 4 years, like conducting and putting handwritten music, and eventually realized the computers can help with this, and making like proper sheet music, and so yeah, by the time I went to college to get a composition degree, I'd already spent like hundreds of hours in front of a real orchestra with students, but still. Now you're going to show your mad skills here. Let's see if you're worthy of the Olympic gold that you know I have.
Go! I want to. You're going to give me your Olympic gold if I get this?
I never said that, but
okay, fine. All right, bro.
Well, I'll give you one of those.
All right, thank you.
That's basically
that's gold.
Bronze, at least.
Wow,
that's really cool, man.
Are you still in touch with your first piano teacher?
I just sent him an email like a month ago. He still gigs. I grew up in Denver, and he still gigs around the Denver area and plays parties and balls and weddings. And he's like this working pianist and an amazing musician, an incredible jazz pianist in particular. But yeah, I owe him literally. If he hadn't played me specifically Jerry Goldsmith music, I think. It's the largest animal in the history of humanity, in the history of the world, the history of Earth.
Blue whale.
Blue whale. it. That should be a future stream.
I think
That's not a self. That's not a. I didn't work on Flower. It's just my that game company extended family, I suppose.
that's awesome. This is Wednesdays when we've been doing these like chill streams. Flowers. Yeah, exactly. We can only run from the end of the world for so long. I love these guys. I'm gonna try to hang out with this one. It's so huge.
Have you ever seen a blue whale or any kind of whale?
No, I've never seen any. The team actually went whale watching early on in the project, Giant Squid, and but I was out of town. I wasn't able to go with them. They went, company research, go, and I'm pretty sure they saw some.
Never seen a whale.
Yeah, me either.
One day.
Yeah, they're amazing.
That means he likes us. Just holding on to his eye.
Do you like me?
Does the score feel adequately blue whale reaching to you in this moment?
Oh yeah.
Are you feeling, or am I holding back? It's funny because I actually look at it and I think, I wrestled with that and I feel like I could have gone more just exuberant,
You speak whale, Austin?
I am no Dory.
Thank you for the ride, whale. So we gotta go back
Now,
to this.
go chill on the surface and just like kind of tread water for a second. Let's see if we can. The whale's totally camera bombing you. Alright, now if you slowly go in a circle, of course these fish are not making it easy, somewhere in the distance is the Journey Mountain. And I cannot honestly remember where, but it is somewhere seeable from the surface of this part of the game. And it's brightly obscure. It may not, and in fact, it may be that you have to be in a specific area that I can't promise we're in.
Someone will find us.
Go to the island, someone reminds us. Yes, there is a little secret island. You should go because there's adorable things there.
There's an adorable thing on this. Is that an island? Alright.
Pink puff tree?
The adorable island with the pink puff trees? Say it ain't so, Austin. I'm fast underwater, right?
Yeah. I think it's sort of hooked to the left.
Go in that tunnel?
No, that's where you came from.
Oh.
Yeah, straight ahead. I think, if I remember.
Oh, there.
Is it orgs?
I love how they're just making it really easy for the birds. It's not that actually. I think it's actually considerably further like to the horizon. I'm ashamed to say it's been a little while. Is it? Oh, it's steering you away. Alright, someone in the chat is wrong side. Oh, we went the wrong direction. I misled you.
To the other side of the island?
To the other side of like the
This
structure.
mass?
Yeah.
Right.
I should know better, but it's been years. I have to admit.
Our fish friends are following us.
Yeah, they're like,
So
it's
give
a,
me more-
oh,
oh,
there,
there we
there's
go.
Oh,
one.
there it is.
I'm giving you more support. Yeah, yeah, you're not ready. You're not ready. Give a flying run onto this and land on it.
Oh.
The excitement is so palpable.
Go. Leap. But not towards it. Leap.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh.
I'm trying to breach through it like an orca.
We are running out of
that moment where you get to enjoy the feeling of hundreds of people judging you.
They don't judge me. They know I'm miserable at games. Here we go.
Well, and this one went for like the unwinnable scenario because everybody hates water, like swimming levels in games.
Penguins!
Take me to your leader.
They have a leader. Drinking a Coke. And another glorious 90s reference.
Hey, my dude. Wake up, Mr. Bear.
Now, I believe... Wait, I think I may have just seen it.
Yeah.
Spin... No, it's almost 180 from this... Back. Stay... Don't jump off it.
Journey
The
Mountain!
Journey Mountain!
Cool.
What's that? Are those
So far
babies?
away. These are babies.
It would be darkly hilarious if they had taken the time where if you actually step on it,
Oh, no.
it just ruins everyone's day.
What's this little thing here? That I remember him from earlier. This little pod.
A little drone.
Yeah. Just looking after them. That's cool.
Yeah,
I would never found that on my
Yeah,
own.
it's real hard to find. So here's a Journey Mountain related trivia. Jordan Vogt Roberts, the director of Kong Skull Island, is a huge Journey fan, and on the landscape of the island is also the Journey Mountain in that movie on purpose,
Oh, cool.
which was hilarious. It was one of those little things that I saw it on Twitter, and people did a side-by-side, like, is this on purpose? In the background of such and such shot that there's a mountain that really looks like the Journey Mountain, and he was like, maybe.
Maybe. It's a very definite shape.
Yeah, with the big kind of crack at the top. There you go.
That's
All that in service of our little Easter egg.
Well, we found that someone showed us to the flower in Journey.
Yeah.
Where you can find out
yeah.
out of the desert.
There's
Yeah.
a flow and flower reference in Journey. That game company's first game, Flow, which was also my first professional game scoring game. There's a flow reference hidden. You have to go really far backward in order to find it at one point. Similarly to the flower, like it's just way to the side, tucked away.
It's like you almost have to get lost to find it.
Essentially, yeah.
Let's go. Can we get up in this wreck? Have you ever scuba dived around any kind of like a sunken ship or
Yep.
anything?
Yeah, several. And plane. A sunken plane. It was a little like Cessna. It wasn't like, 747. One of the places I've always wanted to dive is called Trunk Bay in the South Pacific. That is essentially Japan's version of Pearl Harbor, where we the U.S. military, like kind of ambushed them and sank a bunch of like planes and ships. And there's kind of this, I guess it's slightly macabre, but there's like this sort of Japanese naval graveyard at the bottom that's all like coral growing on it now, and whole ecosystem that's formed around it of like these World War II relics.
Wow.
And that has kind of become a scuba destination, which in hindsight is kind of dark, but I've always wanted to go there. I have yet to make it to that part of the world. Alright, our last piece of dynamic changing American music. We really milked that loop. I'm happy it seemed to hold up okay. I don't know, we'll see how many. You should do a poll. How many people hate this music now?
No, they love it. In fact, Mad Gab says, super thank you for the music.
Yeah, very grateful for your
That's very sweet.
Thanks for those big cheers, Mad Gab.
What's happening?
Space.
How do you like that?
I love it.
Wow. Nature taking
There's
over.
there's something that's just like so human about. As soon as we see like green again, we just
I know,
love
you
it.
feel-
We just-
yeah.
Your inner hobbit.
yeah, exactly. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Austin,
Thank
you're ever so humble, slowly scooting away.
I was just because I realized I was moving, exiting the frame so much. I was like, I should probably give myself a little.
Oh, it's awesome.
But we're gonna see your name and we're gonna cheat.
Well,
Maybe they've
done.
redacted my name out of the game here.
Like they released a patch. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Exclude Austin patch.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Um,
Thank you so much for joining us for this. It's really
It's
cool to
my
have the
pleasure.
inside scoop on everything. You know, lots of love, lots of praise, and mission
Thank you.
successful.
There's Steve Green, his sound designer I was mentioning earlier. His name just went by. Steve, amazing collaborator and kind of all around brilliant dude. I mean, this whole team is frankly.
It's amazing you say so few people worked on this. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
gorgeous.
yeah, it's a tiny. Oh, thank you.
Austin Wintory! Exclamation point! Austin! Exclamation point! Gaston! Simply marvelous.
Simply.
Yeah, Steve Johnson, you'll see on there, was the sound designer on Journey who helped out at the very beginning. Special thanks. Here's a bunch of people in the family. Nathan Geary, who helps run Annapurna's game division now. Genova Chen, of course, the founder of that game company and creator of Journey. And the sort of endless family members and useful playtesters. And Eric Whitaker is on the list. Sir David Attenborough is one of Matt's all-time heroes. But
Yeah, absolutely.
Eric Whitaker, for those familiar, he's probably one of the most famous composers of choral music. Here's our music credits. Kristen Nagus, our oboe soloist. Wonderful, wonderful team that I enjoy working with all the time. Just literally recorded with all of these people on a project this week for something I'm not allowed to talk about. Secrets.
Is there something we're allowed to talk about which is next?
Well, I am working on the Pathless.
Okay, so we can say it.
That is, I did do recording this past week for the Pathless as well. See, look, there's our 7 harps. See, Skyland, position 1. Amazing. And then the London Voices Choir. I brought up Eric because we were going to use the Eric Whitaker Singers in London. He was going to conduct, and then they couldn't make the schedule work because Eric's a friend and sort of composer colleague. But we went with the London Voices because they did. See, there you go. The Tablet of the Illumination. The London Voices Choir. Here's your next chill game suggestion. Everybody's gone to the Rapture.
Take note.
Yeah.
On Triceratops. No.
Yes. Everybody's gone to the Rapture.
Got it.
Glorious, beautiful game. I loved it to death. The music heavily features this same choir, the London Voices, recorded in the same room at Air. The music was by a very dear friend of mine, Jessica Curry, who won the BAFTA, the first woman to ever win a BAFTA as a video game composer.
Wow.
And she wrote this unbelievably, like, not just jaw-dropping, but I think, like, industry-elevating score. And I remember when I heard, I was like, I want all the same exact singers down to the last one because I knew choir was going to be a big part of Abzu. And I was almost done with the score at that point. So she happily turned me over to Ben Perry and Terry Edwards in the London Voices Choir. They're unbelievable singers.
Heavenly.
Wow. Heavenly is a good word to describe it. Ethereal.
I see someone saying Jessica Curry is great, and yes, indeed, she is.
Mm-hmm. Giant squid snaps for
Well done.
beautifulness.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing this with us, Giant Squid.
So yeah, everyone should follow them online and check out their next game coming sometime. Release information not made public, called The Pathless.
Ooh, I remember
That's
seeing
awesome.
that trailer at the Game Awards and being like, that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to play that.
Yeah. There was like 30 games where people were just killing each other.
Yeah.
And then finally the trailer for The Pathless came on and we're like,
A composer,
and then
friend
Mortal
of mine,
Kombat!
Yeah.
a buddy of mine watched it and go, Dear Esther is Jessica's first major game. Also a beautiful score. The Pathless, a buddy of mine who does the music on Supergiant's games like Bastion, Transistor, their new game Hades, which was announced at the Game Awards that same day. He goes, Pathless is probably the first game I've ever been excited to play entirely based on the walk cycle animation of the main character because it just looks so satisfying.
Mm-hmm. Her eagle friend.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You really paid attention.
Yeah. No, seriously, it was like.
Do you have a childhood
death,
falconry?
Death, and then that game.
Amelia plays a druid gnome in D&D.
Okay, so
who
this
has
is
a she
coming
eagle.
close to home.
Oh yeah. And
I love it.
An eagle is my character's main companion
/
I call her
true life
she-eagle.
spirit animal.
Yeah.
I
Well,
love it.
I feel my spirit animal is a combination of a rabbit and a phoenix. So in a way, that's kind of like
A rabbit and a phoenix.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like a rabbit and an eagle, and I thought I love that your combo like one eats the other pretty directly. But phoenix, I guess, is
Phoenix is kind of like an eagle, right?
What is the phoenix? Is
They
the phoenix
rise
is its
from the
own thing?
ashes.
Like, is the phoenix arising from the ashes of a phoenix, or is
Yes.
it from the ashes of some other? Like, is it the post-ash version of something else? I'm blanking.
I think a phoenix
Just is a phoenix.
kind of
and
like
just,
cycles.
Yeah, it's just got the Emily Blunt Edge of Tomorrow situation.
Yeah.
It got the time blood spilled on it. That makes sense. A phoenix is like a peacock but on fire.
Yes.
Fire.
Yes, and that's how they breed with each other. The most impressive flames is how the females choose the suitor.
Yeah.
Hey Austin, one more question because I saw this one pop up a bunch of different times when you mentioned about gaming. I'm not really sure who to credit it to. Do you have a favorite video game or like a top
for
recommend?
sure.
Like, what's your recommend game?
Absolutely, Grim Fandango.
Grim Fandango.
That would be a good one for your stream, although it is
Okay.
frustratingly difficult by today's standard. But point and click adventure, like 1997, 98, I want to say.
Sweet.
Grim Fandango to me was a big part of why I even wanted to be like involved in games, because it was one of the first that revealed to me. Well, I shouldn't say one of the first, because I was a big fanboy for LucasArts through the whole 90s, from Loom, Day of the Tentacle, Monkey Island, Full Throttle, The Dig, all those point-and-click adventure games, not to mention all the Star Wars games, Dark Forces.
Oh god,
etc.,
Dark
etc.
Forces, dude. My
Classic.
brother and I saved up for that because I had 2 discs. We were so stoked about that. Like, what a game with 2 discs!
2 discs!
Yeah, it's so good. But Tim Schafer specifically, him, Ron Gilbert, the story guys, the adventure games guys of that era, and then there were these 3 composers, staff composers at LucasArts, Clint Bajakian, Michael Land, and then like one of my all-time heroes, Peter McConnell, who did the score specifically on Grim Fandango. And when I heard that, it was one of the first video game scores that I heard that just dripped with personality, and I was like, this is real music on every level. It has all these, it's this smashing together. Do you know the game? Are you familiar with Grim Fandango?
No.
So it's Mexican Day of the Dead, like Dia de la Muerta
Yes.
Okay.
visuals and folklore combined
Cool.
with like 1940s film noir. So it's
Sweet.
it's like the most amazing game world that you can
Glorious.
imagine. Because it'll be like a mariachi trumpet and then this growling tenor sax playing together, and it's just every detail of it. Do Google image Grim
Here.
Fandango. You're gonna be so happy with everything that comes back. It's
yes.
just pure genius. Like you see the
Okay,
skull,
cool.
the skeletons is a very specific, like Mexican folk art style. But then look at all the like Art Deco buildings and.
Here, I'm gonna throw this in so everybody else can see here.
You're so wired. I
Yes.
love it. I'm gonna just start calling you Tank.
No, please do. Here we go.
Yeah. Anyone who doesn't, they recently remastered it and put it on PS4 and
Whoops, that's
and
nice.
Steam and it's just, to me, it is a full blown gaming masterpiece. And it was one of the first times I ever really felt deeply moved by a game. There's this character you play, Manuel Calavera, and that woman is kind of the romantic Mercedes Colomar, aka Meche. She's your love interest in the game, and the first time you meet her, you're a travel agent in the land of the dead, aka a Grim Reaper. And so you see like the big scythe. So you greet her when she dies, and she's like this saint. She was this perfect, like impossibly perfect person. And yet there's like this whole mystery of why is she in this situation then? What weird corruption is happening in the land of the dead that the most perfect person ever has like this sort of hellbound fate? That's sort of the intrigue of the story. And so Meche's first line is, she kind of wakes up in the land of the dead and says to Manny, "You're not the nurse," and he says, "No, but I am here to ease your pain." And then she pauses and says, "I guess that couldn't save me." And it was like, I was like 16 or something when I played that. I was like, in 3 lines, I can't imagine what it would like to be discovering that you're dead.
Wow.
And it was so perfectly executed, so understated, but it was like moving that she suddenly has this,
Ooh.
I guess they couldn't save me.
Wow.
Amazing.
Too much
amazing,
hype. Don't
perfect
worry,
game.
we're still here, friends. Hold on, I just lagged something out. There we go.
Oh. Igbicam.
We're back.
Yeah, it's a perfect. And the best is go on YouTube because last year at E3, for the 20th anniversary of Grim Fandango, they did a table read of all the original cast doing scenes from the game.
Oh, that's awesome.
With Jack Black randomly joining them to do like
It never
incidental
hurts
other
to Al.
characters. Yeah, it was. I was sitting there. I bludgeoned my way in there, so I was sitting in like practically the front row with a friend of mine, and we were just like sobbing and so happy, and
Oh my
it was
gosh.
so good.
That's so cool.
awesome.
So yeah,
It looks very intriguing. I'm definitely down to check that
Well
game out.
worth it.
Super cool.
I think
art
you need to
style.
poll people. Should we play
Should we
Grim
play it?
Fandango
Should we do a poll?
right now?
Well, and right now?
Like yes, just turn off Abzu's endless aquarium end credit post credit scene.
Yes.
Where we get to see the crazy exploits of what's Tony Stark up to next.
Well, you know, we have a game next queued up that maybe you know about, this Assassin's Creed Syndicate. You know it?
I am vaguely familiar with that one.
We're gonna do a raid over to a channel of someone who's playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
No kidding.
And we have all of these folks who've been training up their ear on Austin Wintory composition, and they'll be able to. Is there anything they could look out for when we raid them over to Assassin's Creed? What could they listen for that they might connect to?
So
this?
here's my Assassin's Creed trivia. I don't know. This is the first thing that came to mind. So obviously, well, if you play Journey, usually one of the things that's pretty obvious is that it features a crazy huge amount of cello solos. It's like cellos all over that score. And that was all written for a very dear friend I've known for a long time named Tina Guo, and she's like a superstar cellist. We met in college, but in the 15 years or whatever since I met her, almost 15 years, she's become like this just absolute in-demand, busy touring, recording, releasing albums, the whole 9 yards.
Wow.
So while we were working on Journey, you know, she comes in one day and she goes, "I just got a call." She was so clueless to the world of scores that she knew like death metal and classical music. It's hilarious. She was like, "I either want to play with, you know, the New York Phil at Carnegie Hall or with like Rammstein." And so she gets a call from someone saying, "I saw a video of yours on YouTube and I want to hire you to play on a score I'm working on." So she calls and says, "I don't know, can you vet this for me? Is this legit?" It's a movie. It's like a Sherlock Holmes something or other. And I was like, who called you? She was like, "It's some guy, Hans something." And I was like, "Oh, this is beautiful. This is delicious." Like Hans Zimmer is calling her to be a featured soloist on Sherlock Holmes.
Oh my
And she had no idea who he was. And they've since become really close, and he uses her on everything. And they tour together and all that. So for all of her crazy adventures, I wrote all this stuff for her on Assassin's Creed. There is a point to this story. And Assassin's Creed Syndicate was this crazy, like, let's do 19th century classical music on crazy steroids. So it features Tina on cello and Sandy Cameron, amazing violinist, who just released an album of Danny Elfman's first violin concerto, written specifically for her. She's a superstar. It features the two of them, and actually because of the solo, the siblings, Jacob and Evie Fry, your two player characters played by Paul. Crap, I'm forgetting Paul's last name. And Victoria Atkin is the actress who does Evie, your colleague, your fellow motion capture. Victoria's she's probably at all the cons.
That's true.
Victoria's great.
Zurich game show.
So they play the twins, Jacob and Evie Fry, in that game, and so the music is attached to them. Like when you're playing as Jacob, you hear Sandy playing the violin, and if you switch to Evie, in that moment, the music will pivot to hearing Tina play the cello. So it's always one or the other.
Very cool.
And I remember when we were recording, Tina goes, she's like sweating, and we did like day after day after day, this huge amount of music. And she goes, "This is without a doubt the hardest music that anyone in my entire career has made me record." And I was like, I shouldn't feel proud of that, because usually that means it's badly written. But I'm very proud.
That's
so
exciting.
when you listen to Assassin's Creed, if you can, between all the hidden blade murders, listen to the obscene high-level performance of these musicians, because they're world-class. I mean, these are some of the best musicians in the world being pushed to the brink of what they can do, and it was fun to witness
so
that.
Cool.
Awesome.
The cello is probably my favorite instrument if I had to pick, so I will.
Hard to deny the power of the cello.
So beautiful.
Everyone should go check out Tina's album called Game On that features a bunch of cello-based covers of video game music, like from The Witcher. She's got Journey on
awesome.
there. Bunch of stuff. She's a powerhouse.
Ooh,
That's very
so
cool. What's it? Game On?
It's called Game On. It's on Sony.
Cool. Maybe can our
Blow.
mods maybe drop a link to that into the chat?
Yeah, I think it's everywhere. It's probably on Spotify. And
Cool.
yeah.
I also want to say thank you to just a couple more people.
Go for it. I'm gonna pull up a winner from our Twitter retweet. Will you do another custom art piece?
Yes.
All right, here it comes.
All right. Pen. Lyrelia, thank you for the gift sub to Magic Us. Sing Stress, welcome back for 11 months.
Look at your stockpile of.
Skyward Gamer, thank you for the donation.
I'm gonna
thank
make
you for being here.
We'll do
Lots of love for you,
Austin.
Austin. One Purple Panda, welcome back for 3 months. Good to have you with us. Oh,
My very
it's Death
straight
Drops.
line staff.
Welcome
Nice,
back
nice.
for 2 months. Oh, Lyrelia with a couple of gift subs.
Thank
I
you,
think that
Lyrelia.
means that him egg should get some.
I think him should.
Some treats.
Feed him good eggs.
Feed him, baby. Yeah.
I love that
Your
sound.
spot.
Yeah, he's very. Thank you guys also for retweeting to invite your friends. Oh, you got that speed retweet at the last second there. Here we go. I'm gonna open this up. Thank you all for inviting people to join us, and I'm gonna load all these up so everybody has a chance to win. And you look
Peytonus,
really
welcome
good.
back for 10 months.
10
and
months.
third best username, welcome back for 5.
Hey, welcome back.
OZN65, thanks for cheering, and thank you all for joining us. Yo, yo. And yeah.
And Cintrus back for 11 months. Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. Here we go. This is, you want to Vanna White your
Yes,
next
I'm
one?
writing a piece of music for whoever.
Ooh.
Where's the camera? For whoever, this is their new motif, their theme.
That's right. You can play it or find someone who can.
They're gonna be like, this kind of sounds like The Simpsons. That's okay.
Here we go. Here comes the winner. Drum roll, please.
Vanna Whiting, badly.
Yeah.
Vanna Whiting
Vanna was a little more
beautifully,
stationary,
yeah.
but you.
Yeah, she understood the difference between like the camera left and my left.
Here we go. The winner is Waffy Jam. LAUGHYJAM.
Rose
You go by Rose.
Augustinsky.
Congratulations, Rose. You are the winner. We will send you a message now.
I'm hoping it's actually Rose
Yeah.
because I'm gonna write Rose's theme.
Full custom.
And if anyone tries to tell me that that's a Titanic reference, they can go to hell.
Oh, sweet. You also sent me a message a long time ago, which I'm just now getting. Been watching a lot of your... Oh, you're awesome. Thank you, Rose, for your sweet message. Let me know where to send your postcard.
Awesomeness appears to be a recurring theme amongst your community here.
You're pretty awesome.
You've got a I don't know what you did wrong that you didn't like bring out the primal
It's all the nicest
viciousness
people.
of internet community. You hit some kind of wrong button at the beginning because everyone's all sweet and
Positive.
charitable and yeah.
It's Igby Cam is
Yeah,
what
I know.
He puts
Cats in
everyone
the
on their-
internet
on
is
their
not to be
best
underestimated.
behavior. So have you ever done a raid before on Twitch? You want to see how this works?
I haven't. Let's do it.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna.
I'm kind of.
Sorry.
What is this?
There's a...
Just let it fly. Don't clap in front of my face. It's a piece of fluff.
No.
There's a microphone.
Did you just Miyagi it? Oh wow! And I love that you're like absorbing it now. You're like making it part of you.
turn to dust? All right, so here's how this works.
Oh, so this syndicate is happening this second.
They're playing Syndicate right now,
Yeah.
and we are, with a click of a button, everyone who's on the stream right now is going to go raid over to their
Gonna
channel.
get involuntarily talk about
Inundated
two very different
games.
types of emotional experiences.
All right, so we're going to raid over. Thank you all for joining us. We do this
Yes.
little thing at the end of the stream. All I have to do is say your name after we do. Ready? And then... My name is Brian,
My name is Amelia.
I'm Austin.
That's Igby.
and this
This
is
is
our
our
Twitch.
I was supposed to join you on that.
You nailed it.
This is their Twitch.
Ha! Bravo. Thank you, Austin, again for joining us.
Pose.
We
like-
super appreciate you. Friends, are you ready to raid? Let's go share some love. Give them lots of follows. Give them some happy emotes and tell them we love them. Tell them Austin sent them.
Yes,
So the composer of
the
this
composer
game,
of the game you're playing.
Austin Wintory, wants you to know.
It is weird to be going from one project into literally like the next, or we're going backwards in time.
Are we going
We went from the later one into the earlier one.
Nice.
Ooh,
Here we go. Raid,
very
raid.
cool.
See you guys soon. We'll see you. Our next stream is on Friday. We're doing a concert stream.
Concert stream with the grasshopper.
2 p.m. exclamation point schedule. You'll find it.
Didn't know
gonna
this
be
was
good.
an option.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, want to do a concert stream next?
Interesting.
Many harps. Here we go. Enjoy the raid. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.